Moment of the truth. Am I live? Am I not live? I'm having some audio and visual problems here. Come on. All right, I think I'm live. I was having trouble getting us all set up here this morning. All right. Yeah, this video is kind of blown out. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to adjust that a little bit here. Let's bring up the brightness just a little bit. I don't have to try to blow myself out too much. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's go with that. All right, that should bring my brightness up a little bit. Now that I'm live, I got to tweet it real quick. Actually, do I really care about... I mean, I don't really care if anyone actually watches this, so maybe I don't really care to tweet it. But I know people like to watch it, so I don't... I'm always torn between, like... I'm not about self-promotion. I really don't care about it, but I do like to let people know, because I know some people enjoy this, so I feel like some people like to watch it live. So let me just share on the tweet. Let's see. See if I can spell it right. Nah, I'm gonna see if I get my spelling right this day. All right, there we go. Tweet. Good morning, everybody. As usual, for those that are new, or maybe you've been around for a long time and been watching since the beginning, I do all of these videos for one reason only, which is to document the test results. Everyone can see how I tested it. It's very transparent. Again, all the data, you can go to the link. It's in the video description. That'll give you the data as I type it in. As usual, I'll do the same setup I always do. Off screen here, you can't see it, but if you look at previous videos, I have a TSI 8026 aerosol generator that I'll use with 16% sodium chloride solution, mass by mass, so 8 grams of water, or 8 grams of salt in 50 grams of water. That generates roughly a 64 nanometer count median diameter particle after drying. And we'll fill the room with it. I'll test the concentration outside the mask, inside the mask, and then back outside the mask again. Today I was making some coffee, which if anyone knows me really personally well will know that that's a sign. And I had to bring my HEPA unit in here because it turns out, it's always funny, like I didn't turn the gas, I didn't turn the vent on, or the powered vent fan for the stove because I was just boiling some water, so I was like, whatever. And I had the CPC running at the same time here, that Kesla counts, and all of a sudden my counts were like all the way up to maximum value of the device. And I was like, wow, I forget that even though it's natural gas, which we would think to be very clean, yeah, it still generates a ton of ultrafine. You don't see it really on a PM25 counter because they just can't really detect like 100 nanometer particles, but boy, do you generate a lot when you're cooking. So kind of an interesting thing there. So I had to bring that in, brought the concentration down. We're slowly creeping up. We're about 800 particles per cc, but that's money. Let's see. So we'll do that. So we'll get started here. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I need to mention. Other than there's an FAQ. If you go to my Twitter, you can get a link to my Google Drive, which covers kind of how I do this test and all that jazz. I'm just gonna flip this around, putting the sodium chloride solution in. We do always a couple checks at the start of this experiment every time. My lab is a little messy here, but for those wondering what we're going to test today, we're going to be testing a few masks today. So then I'm going to let that go down while we wait. We have a few masks. We have the Onique. This is a Balluna replacement. I'm not convinced it's as nice as the Balluna, but it's similar. It has adjustable ear loops, but it uses a head clip. Someone has sent me the 3M KF94. It's a bifold. I have the AFFM from 3M, which I am fairly convinced that these are the 3M one. I heard a lot of people saying that they like this one better than this one on Reddit, and the person that sent it to me, so we'll test and see if they're any different. By size, they're identical. They are exactly the same mold and cutting, like the heat seaming or the ultrasonic seaming and welding. The pattern's the same. The breathability feels almost identical to me, so I think they're the same mask, just in black, which is cool. I'm all cool with that. They are a little on the small side, so they don't fit my face very well. We're going to test... Oh, I forgot this one. The Living Guard mask. A certain podcaster might be very mad at me after the results of this test today, but hey, data's the data, right? Let's see, we've got the MaskC. This is a very high-end brand. Someone had sent me these. KF95s, in colors, and I think I don't know exactly much about them. I mean, I've seen them a lot. I just people always ask me, how can you test all these masks? Like, well, there's a million brands, and I just don't always have infinite amount of time. And two, one of the reasons that I don't typically do it is because I look for, like, part of my goal was like supply chain. So, you know, companies that do it right, you know, if you're importing consistent brands and you're doing it all right, you know, we'll definitely hook you up in terms of testing your mask. But if you're just like some random mask brand, I don't really have time for that because it doesn't solve my problems. I'm going to test another Kimberly-Clark. So for those that have been following V-Flex, I heard rumors that it was discontinued. I reached out to 3M via Twitter, and they actually DM'd me like, no, it's totally legitimate, still available. And then I see now that you can't get them anymore, except for the surgical grade ones. So I think that my insider info was correct, that they're ramping down some of the non-surgical masks. So we're going to see those get a little harder. So for ultra breathable, I'll bring back I tested this a long time ago. Like over a year and a half, almost a year, about a year ago. So I'll bring it back, and unfortunately, it's from my stash, so it has been sitting out for a year. So let's see what happens. No claims there. And then the last one we tested. Oh, we got two more to go. We got the Blox. This is a company out of East Coast. Let's see, Newport News, Virginia. They make a duckbill style mask as well. This is a surgical grade one. I think that's probably all they're making these days. I guess I don't really know. We'll test it out, see how it does. They had sent it to me. It seems like another good option. And then the last mask we'll be testing is some masks that got sent to me by school district. Let's see. I think it's, I don't know I can't remember what school district it is. Oh, Arlington Public School Systems. Some of these, which kind of interesting. They meet some of the labeling requirements. They have everything that I would expect to see, except the LA sticker there. That's like a quality control. Let's see if I can get white balance. Good. Hold it. See that LA sticker? So that is a quality control system in China, and you can search the little number on the bottom. They'll have a little interesting there. Their number's expired. I think the mask will probably still be okay, but let's check it out. At least they labeled them correctly. So that's what we'll be doing today. We're going to try to do this quickly because I have other things I need to get done today. I don't know when, I mean, I guess there's some more masks coming from that same public school system, but I need to get this done, so we're going to start today. So yeah, let's see what else. I'm going to close the toilet so I don't drop any masks in there. Look, I got a little tiny bit, my nose is just a tiny bit runny. Whenever I touch my nose a lot, it gets really runny. When I do all like this nose wire stuff, it just starts causing my nose to get like crazy runny. I was trying some of these masks on. I don't know why that is, but it's like if I just pinch this a lot, I just start getting lots of stuff coming out of my nose. All right. Audio good for everyone. If everyone says good, I'll keep moving on. For those that are not familiar, I hooked if you look right there, I always forget this is weird. If you look right here, you're going to see that concentration plummeted to 0. That's because I got a HEPA filter attached to it. It's actually an ULPA filter attached to it. So taking all the particles away, I'm going to go ahead and pull that connect tube off. Now I can remove the tube, and you're going to see that concentration go bloop, 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 and up it goes. There it goes. So that's the concentration in the ambient room right now. Looking around, looks like it's about 900 particles per cc. Okay, so we did our 0 count on the CPC, so it is capable of testing at very low concentrations. Next up, we're going to turn on the generator here. Make sure my fan is active. You're going to hear that in the background there. It's going to get a little noisy, so we're going to dump into this room a bunch of 64 nanometer 64 nanometer sodium chloride particles. I'm going to hook up my N100 control mask. I'm going to jump over to my data set. I'm going to type in today's date. Oh, we wait, 1/29/22. This is going to be the NIOSH. It's the Moldex N100 control. It's an N100. It's cup style. And for those watching, I am getting behind on the data a little bit. Like I haven't put sourcing stuff on there for a while, mostly because a lot of the masks I've been testing, I have no idea where some of them came from, and the other reason that I haven't put sourcing is a lot of the stuff you can't get anyway. So I've had focused on just like other projects, or other stuff out of this project. So yeah. Let's see. Watching that concentration come up a little bit. I'll stop it when it hits about 15,000, 20,000, somewhere around there. What do we want to start with today? We'll start with a good mask, then we'll go to a bad mask, then we'll go to a good mask. Yeah, we'll start with this. We'll see how this KF94 looks. Just waiting for that concentration to come. Well, that comes up. Now I am mic'd up here, so I have to be a little careful I don't catch the mic, otherwise you're going to hear all that. I need a bigger lab. Everyone always... I picked this room because it's the smallest room. I don't really regret that. It makes sense for what I'm trying to do, but it does create some complications when you're trying to work. Because I don't have a ton of space. Ah, where did that go? I just dropped it. Alright. Hold on. Move out of the way stuff. Oh, clear the space. Can't remember what the French word for is everything in its place. What is that? It's like I use it when I cook all the time. I say play or something like that? No, I don't know. I'm not French. I don't know. Let's see right about there. I gotta stand up to do this. Turn this bad boy off because we're gonna overshoot. There we go. I'll wait for that to settle in. I'm gonna puncture this mask. Excellent. Okay, first one's done. Let that concentration stabilize a little bit while I keep punching masks. So that one's ready to go. I'll put it here. Then I'm gonna do this AFFM mask. They include head clips. I don't know if you can remove it or not. Oh, there we go. Let's see here. Are they removable clips? Yeah, they are. But they include it because you got to use it. I think when we start getting into some of the details of how you actually do these tests, I think a lot of companies that include clips that's how they pass the KF94 standards. Let me just put this one on real quick. Mark the location of the mouth right here. Sometimes I think they skimp on the clips. I don't know. It's hard to know for sure. There we go. That was easier than I thought. Alright. Another one done. How's our concentration stabilized? Okay, excellent. While I'm up and doing this, I'm going to do one more. I'm not sure what all you can see in the video, but let's do the other one. Where did I set it down at? There it is. Yeah, these are like identical. Flatten those wire. I'm just going to test the location and mark the mouth. The mouth's right about there. Load up another punch port. I bought the mother load of these. I have like 500 of them, so you can't stop me. Nothing will hold me back. There we go. Normally, they even include a black clip. Look at that. That's high end. All right, then we'll get started here. We got a couple masks. While we wait for that to charge up. All right. Port is good. Put that back in the packaging. All right. So first things first. I'm going to take a look at the 20-second concentration average. I just spilled something on my keyboard. 2.174 to the 4. 2.174. Okay, we're going to go ahead and don the mask. Put it on like this. You're going to watch that concentration plummet. This side, I guess. I don't ever remember which way. Yeah, this side, I think. Yeah, right there. See that? So that concentration go bloop. It's because this thing's filtering everything. It's an N100. I get typically 99.9. All right, we'll call it there at 1.4 particles per cc. 1.4. All right, we'll go ahead and take the mask off. I guess you could say this is kind of like a white mask. Oops, cap box is still on. Check that white. All right, let that stabilize for 20 seconds, and then we'll get going. Let's check the comment section, see what's going on. Let's see, I got, hey Chuck, Niwot, Colorado. It's a good place. My favorite cyclocross racer is also from there. And if you didn't know I like cyclocross, then you haven't looked at any of my previous videos. My favorite cyclocross racer is probably right now getting ready. I hope she gets to go to race the World Championship race that's happening in Fayetteville right now. But if that's the case, then that means someone else is not racing, which I don't know how I feel about that, because I like Rebecca Fahringer as well. All right, outside of my other hobbies besides mask testing, we've got a few more seconds. All right, we're at our 20-second limit, so I was just looking through the comments there. 1.826 e to the 4. 1.826 e to the 4. All right, so 99%, kind of what we expect. Next up will be our 3M. So we're going to do the 3M 8210 N95 control. This is a NIOSH N95. Cup shape. It's going to be as worn. I've used it for a long time. Still works great. Highlights that. Now, I've probably put this thing on. I don't know if you'd have to go through my thing. I've probably put this mask on 30 times, 40 times, probably more than that, because I use it all the time. I do it for both my filtration measurements, and I also do it for my pressure drop measurements. I've been using this exact same mask the entire time. So, highlights that these things aren't really, you got to be careful with them. You can't be too rough with them, but it highlights that they are not like, one-time use. 3M recently, I saw updated their recommendations for the general public on how to use it. I think they were a little selective with their language, which is good, because I think they're trying to encourage people to rewear them without saying you can rewear them. So we'll go here 20 seconds. Let's see what else. Oh my goodness, so many chats. You guys love talking masks. Canadians buying. People always have mentioned Good Manner. I just haven't been able to source them in the U.S. from anyone other than Amazon. I can order from G-Market. I've ordered a lot of stuff from G-Market in the past. But to me, it's like I can test. They might be a good mask. I'm sure they are. Basically, my rule of thumb is if it's a KF94, if you can verify that it came out of South Korea, it's good in my book. How well it performs relative to other masks, I can't say, but you can order them up and try them out. Heron, what about the Champac N95? Too easy to breathe in with, kind of worried. Oh yeah, I gotta get that. I gotta source one of those Champacs. It's a good reminder. They have this like the Champac has it's super easy to breathe in because it's like the Moldex Airwave where they pleated the material, so you get lots more filter area to do it. Have you tested the Sumshi Go? Yes, I have. Look at the data set. You'll see it in there. It's a good mask. Can you check the Google Doc again? See, I love the Seibu 3D. Seibus are awesome. I'm in Canada. Good Manner, yeah, Good Manners are good. I just haven't been able to source them from someone that you can get from other than G-Market. Go to G-Market if you like ordering them from there, but I'm trying to answer the more broad question of how to help a lot of people. I think a lot of people there will be very turned off from going from G-Market because it's mostly in Korean, but if you're a nerd, you'll figure it out. Miko Place, yeah, Miko Place. Everyone's going to be slow from Hong Kong. If you're ordering from Hong Kong, you got Chinese New Year. You have flights being canceled to Hong Kong, so that means not a lot of cargo is getting hauled. So if you're ordering from stuff from Hong Kong, you're going to have to be patient or wait. Let's see. Taping mask, you can do that. I'm going to have to move on here. Lots and lots of comments. Wow, you guys are such mega nerds. It's awesome. 1.626 e to the 4. Y'all are mega nerds. Now I'm going to put this on. I like to say I like to do it like a hooligan because I don't do the hold it against your mouth because I think I got used to that because I can't do that with the port pressed into it. So now, for those watching, I do only do a single seated position for these masks. It's not a full-on fit test like you would in other places with motion. I just do a single seated position. I'm just trying to answer in general, are the masks legit? And relative to the filter media, how do they stack up to everything else? I don't do a full fit, mostly because that would only answer for my face. It's not really an amazing test to know what fits on my face because your face is probably different than mine. So I'm just trying to get a rough check of, are they legit? Do they have good filtration or not? So I always be careful reading too much in the data. If you see a mask that's 95 and you see a mask that's 96, they may not be significantly different, but if a mask gets 80%, well, then you know. All right, I gotta be quiet so I can get a baseline measurement. All right, call there at 166. 166. Saw some questions about masks that I could get a hold of. Let's see, ALG. I'm not remember what ALG is, so that's my problem. The Halored N95s, the flu shield ones, I did reach out to them. They do have an official distributor, but you got to buy a box of like 200 of them, and it's like $160. Or maybe the smallest box you could get 75, but they were sold out. I kind of felt like that's not really a great solution. I try to look for things that you can buy onesie, twosies, maybe up to 5 or 10, because otherwise, like, buying a box of 75 masks that don't fit you for 100-something plus bucks doesn't seem like a good way to solve the mask problem. And again, I mean, like I always say, N95s are good, and there's lots of duck-built N95s now. I'll test a few of them here because I just happen to have them, but I do try to push people to places where you can buy like 1 or 2. Then once you figure out your mask, yeah, go buy a box of 100 for much cheaper. But I have to balance helping people find masks with also, testing masks. So I know that some people are super mask nerds and they want to see all the super mask nerdy stuff, but like I gotta balance that. I don't get it all right. I make mistakes all the time. I'm always just doing it by my own guess of what I should do. So always let me know what you think. I am not perfect. I am just a human, and I don't even do this as a job. 98.91. It's a little lower than I've had in the past, but maybe we're starting. I do think if I plot that trend, I think this is in general going down. One thing I noticed when I compared, I have some new 8210s that I have hanging around. The straps on this are getting much, much more stretched out than they were in the start. I noticed it's not nearly as tight as it once was, so it does highlight these. They do have a lifetime, and it's going to be the straps typically. All right, we'll move on to the Air Queen Nano. We usually get about 90% on this, but again, it's also coming down a little bit too, and I suspect the same thing. I mean, these masks are now over a year old, but we'd still use them as a control because I think that, 1% change in this is not significant enough to ruin my data set. Plus, maybe someday someone will dig and mine this data set and find some really cool stuff. So I'll just keep using the same mask until they die. Or maybe I'll introduce another one if it does die or it's starting to die. I'll just bring in a new one and test them both at the same time so we can have a transfer of the kind of control method. 1.364 e to the 4. All right. This is the Air Queen. I like to use this one because I get around 90%, so if I can consistently show that, it doesn't perform that great. It's like really tight on my left ear, but not so much on my right ear. So I wonder if my ear loops are loosened a little bit. I call there at 1608. It's jumping around a little bit. We'll call there at 1608. All right, there we are. At 88.21. I am freshly shaven. I guess I didn't really get my chin super well, and now I feel it, but I don't think that's really the problem. Where can I buy the mask Biden's wearing? It's the 3M 9205 Plus, the Aura series. You can get those at Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, CVS Pharmacy, or you can order them online directly from the Amazon store. I am not paid or sponsored by 3M. I think they're a good mask. But I have said that so many times on TV now that I'm getting pretty good at it. Let's see, Heron, have you tested the Air Queen with Fix the Mask? Is the combo? No, you can use Fix the Mask with the Air Queen. The median, it just doesn't work very well. That's really the issue with the Air Queen mask. It uses this nanofilter material, and it's just not. I've yet to see a nanofilter material that exceeds. I'm going to call there 1.308, 87.96. So a little lower than I had in the past, but I'm kind of getting a little lower across the board today. Oh, maybe it's the relative humidity. Maybe it's just I'm not being patient enough, but it's okay. We'll just get it going. I do see just kind of general downward trend, but I'm guessing that if I keep using these masks so much, they're going to start having problems. Okay, next up will be we're going to start with our first test of the legit mask. So this is the let's see, I got to jump to OBS here because I won't be able to see it. This is the it's kind of almost like unique, but it's like not. It's like unique backwards. This is a black bifold mask. It's supposed to be like the Bluna replacement, so let's see how it stacks up. Very similar to the Bluna. I should grab the Bluna and I gotta compare them. They look very similar, but I can tell you right now the seaming is different. The seaming right here is tighter, so it's gonna fit a little bit smaller faces better because they're tightening that seaming up. It's got adjustable ear loops, but they're really long because, this makes sense why it's so long. That's what I suspected. I saw it on the package. The mask clip. They're designed for a mask clip. We'll do it without, we'll do it with both. Let's do it. All right. So we're gonna get it set up here. Oh yeah, let me get the adjustable ear loops kind of pulled through. Yeah, so the problem is when they design it for these ear loops are gonna be probably really long or look goofy just as an ear loop only config because they had to design it for an ear mask clip. We're dropping concentration a little bit, so we'll finish this test. Or maybe I should just, let's we can do it. We can finish in time. All right, 129.22. This is the, how do I spell this again? OniQ. Okay, OniQ KF94. This is a KF94 rated mask. It's a boat shape. It's going to be as worn. It's black. It has ear loops, which are adjustable, which is nice. And concentration is at 1.00 e to the 4 right now. Let's go ahead and don the mask. I'm going to do just ear loop as is. Oh man, those are very loose. Okay, we're going to tighten these up quick. Okay, and I already got a lot of adjustment pulled through, so very, very long ear loop. So it's going to look goofy as you adjust them. I don't know. Definitely not a Bluna replacement. It does not fit the same as a Bluna. I can feel already. I've worn enough Blunas. It's close. It's similar. It's definitely tighter right there. Yeah, I just can't really get it that tight to my face. It feels bigger than a Bluna. Too tight on there. Yeah, these ear loops suck. I don't know if I haven't worn a Bluna in a while, I guess. Maybe I'll have to go grab one to see how they feel. There you go. But look how much extra material they have if you do the ear loop one. We'll do ear loop plus mask clip and we'll get a comparison. I called it 68 particles. That's really good. You know, the media is good. It's pretty breathable, too. 99.32, that's good. The ear loops are way too long. They're designed for a mask clip, so you can just see all the extra ear loop material. So I'm not a fan of that, but, you know, it's a nice mask. Maybe it's a Bluna-like. It's Bluna-like. I wouldn't say it's for surely Bluna. While we get 20 seconds here, I was just scrolling through the comments. Someone had asked, what mask would you wear if you're attending COVID-positive patients? If I was in a hospital, you should have a fit tested N95 because that's like the minimum you should have. I don't know why we're not doing it. Hopefully we're doing that more. But N95, let me just button this up one more time. N95, if it was me and I had all the power in the world, I'd give every doctor and nurse a PAPR if they'd like it. I think those are excellent ways to do it. They're way more comfortable. Or Elastomeric respirators. Those are also good. So I don't, I think minimum is an N95. That's the answer to your question. Minimum N95. All right, 1.069. 069 e to the 4. All right, 99.32. All right, let's try this again, but I'm going to do with the mask clip. Plus mask clip. So it's going to be boat. Oh, someone had mentioned automation. Machine does do it. I wrote that little Python script to make that graph. I just didn't think I'd still be doing this. So as worn plus mask clip. So we're going to put that on the back of the head. Once I get the concentration recorded here, stabilize a little bit. 1.057 e to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead and install this in my face. Now we're going to have to let out the... Oh, actually, we're going to have to let these out quite a bit. Oh, did I not get... Did I cross this one? No? Let's see. Maybe I did. Let's see. Wait. Ugh. Okay, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the ear loops on this one. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's let some more out. Click on the mask clip. Boom. Got the other ear. Boom. You know, mask clips aren't too bad either. I don't mind them too much. The downward pressure right there really gets me. Really gets my goat. Probably at about 65. It was about 65. It's jumping around a little bit, but yeah, I think there's not really a significant improvement in this single-seated position. Now, I think people are correct in the complaint of my method, which is totally reasonable, is that I only do it in a single-seated position. I'm not doing a fit test. So the mask clip's going to help when you're moving your head around or doing stuff. So my values are always kind of artificially high because I just tested in a single-seated position. But I did that in the beginning, and I just keep doing that because you can create this nice database of masks where we're trying to assess filtration efficiency and how well it fits my face, and just a general review of it. Like, is the nose wire pretty good that I can actually get it to seal to my nose? It's as best as I can do. It is not a perfect test. I think I would love to see the government come in and just knock it out of the park with testing a whole bunch of masks to show why N95s are better than ear loop KF94s and KN95s, and what is the protection that's provided. I don't think there's a good answer. I've looked at a lot of journals, articles. I look at a lot of tests. Not all of them are great. If I give one mask to 30 people and it doesn't fit 15 of them, is it because... or they get poor fit, is that because the mask just didn't fit them? I think that's typically the answer. And or is it the style of ear loops and what that protection offers? And I just can't believe that over all this time we haven't done a very basic study of, like, here's 10 masks, find the one that fits you best. You tell me which one you fit best, and then test the person. See how good people are self-identifying if a mask fits them, because that is what we're trying to answer. And I can't believe that we haven't studied that yet. And it drives me nuts. And it's like, if the answer is always, here's 10 masks to 10, or well, here's 2 masks to a population of 500 people, it only fit 30%. And then you look at, like, fit data of people that actually are in hospitals and get fitted, and they find the same thing, that if you give one mask to all of the people, it doesn't work so well. So, it's kind of a silly, I mean, I get why they do it, because it's like, yeah, hospitals need a variety of masks, and you need to really know which ones fit you the best. Okay, let's move to our next friends. Okay, we're going to start with the AFFM mask. Actually, I need to turn the generator on, so pardon the noise. Did I catch the back side of that? Let's see. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to flip the generator on. Okay, for those that are not knowing, this is the 3M Advanced... Oh, let me jump over to OBS. Sorry, I can't see. All right, so this is the 3M Advanced... Things are falling over there. 3M Advanced Face Mask. This is a KN95. So this is the same as the 3M 9513. But since we don't have a KN95 standard in the US, they were like, well, how do we bring this mask in? And we're not going to call it a KN95. So they certified it to the F3502 standard, which has a maximum, or a minimum filtration efficiency for a level 2 at 50%. Guess what they got? 99%. Wow, because it turns out, like, these masks are infinitely better than a cloth mask standard, so they rock it out of the park. So what does this mask look like? It's the style I hate. Taper, hook. So it's like the South Korean style bifolds. Now, one thing that is nice about it is they have a little soft foam in there. That's nice. A an aluminum nose wire. Oh, best nose wire in a KN95 to date, right here. Or KN95 style. It's definitely not a KN95. Y'all know what I mean, though. So that's really nice. The fit is, it's a little small this way for me, so it doesn't fit too great. Now, it does come with a mask clip, which means that whatever certification they did also included the mask clip. It does say 3M on the clip, and they made it out of a nice material. Look, 3M's in my backyard. They're a great company most of the time on most products. Like, if they make something, they really do make a good product. Now, you could argue getting their products, how many products they have. Like, I need sandpaper, and they have 8 million varieties of sandpaper. Or I need a piece of tape, and they have 6 billion versions of tape. I was looking for some mask tape to see what they had to offer, like different styles of medical tape. And I was like, I've never seen so many 3M AFFM mask. Okay, we've got to watch that concentration. I'm going to flip it off here. Okay, so AFM mask. This is technically, so this is F3502 certified. It's a bifold. We're gonna do as worn ear loop, and then we'll do the clip as well and see what improvement we get. Now I'll probably have to shorten the ear loops because they're gonna be way too long for me. But we'll let that concentration stabilize. While we wait for the concentration to stabilize, let me run through the comments here quickly. Again, I'm gonna focus on getting my testing done on time today, so I'll try to be doing more in parallel. Next time I turn on the generator, I'll be punching masks, so I'll be doing stuff in parallel. Let's see, Eric Queen talking about, yeah, they're not great. 90% versus 99% is in fact 10x difference. Yeah, so it's kind of always important. It's hard to, when you get to these high filtration efficiencies, it gets less intuitive. Is better breathing a sign of a flaw in true filtration efficiency? I found KF94 is approved by Korean. It costs 35 cents, but it lets in more cool air. Then it sounds like you have a fit issue there, because the button is also KF94. So let's see. The comment section of this kind of sucks on YouTube. Did Aaron test? I'm not sure. I can't wear ear loops at all. I much prefer to have ear loops, headbands. Yeah, better headbands are going to give you a better fit. Although I have seen some people that get a headache from headbands because they're not adjustable. So if you have a big head, it pulls it super tight. It just highlights we need better masks. We should have better masks. We're trying to use cheap disposable masks. Like, it's a good entryway. Let's go to disposable. But I'm already talking about, like, next phase of masking is much better designs that are more comfortable to wear all day. So it's just all about the steps. One step, next step. First step, get people off cloth. Next step, and into these type of masks. Then make better versions of these. Then give them away for free to everyone. Then get good tests. Get pandemic under control. Life go back to normal. Aaron go back to riding bike. All right, we're stabilized. 2.416 e to the 4. All right, so we're gonna ear loop it up. Now, these are not that tight. So we're just going to do them as is. Let's just do a little experiment here. I'm going to pinch the nose wire. We're going to do it as like this without the clip. So the clip's here. I can feel it leaking. But God, that nose wire. Oh my goodness. 3M with a little bit of foam on there. You guys are my best friends. Woo. That's a beautiful nose wire. But this mask is too small for my face. It doesn't fit very well. Which is typical for bifolds for me. Yeah, I'm gonna leak somewhere. I can feel it. It's like right here. Actually, you know what? Let's do mask clip first. Because what's gonna happen is someone's gonna look at this data and they're gonna go, "Oh, Aaron, that mask failed your test. It's a bad mask." It's like, no, you just gotta look into the test I did ran and you weren't watching live streams. We'll do it the other way this time. I'm getting a leak right here. call there 297. Kind of stabilize it at 297. All right, got 98.77. I'll take it off. Then we'll do just ear loops only. Oh, I can't get it off. There you go. Do ear loops only. See how the performance difference is. And then we'll shorten ear loops. So I'm going to do this AFM mask plus mask clip so that everyone knows mask clip. That's how they do supply it, so they do expect you to wear it that way to maximum protection. All right. Give that 20 seconds to stabilize. We got a few seconds to answer some question. Oh my goodness, so many questions. What about electrostatic charge? How do you know if it's still charged? Is it possible to recharge? You don't know if it's still charged. That's why you need a special counter. That's kind of the whole problem with this thing. You can look at a mask and you have no idea how well it works. It might be hard to breathe in, and it still may not filter that well. So you don't know. So I recommend, my recommendation has been 40 hours, kind of because that was based on some of my own test data. I'm just making sure this thing's all clamped in there really nice. That was based on my own test data. You can go longer probably, depends on the condition, so I just say 40 hours. But in general, they last quite a while. And they don't just suddenly lose their charge, they slowly dissipate over time, giving less and less protection. But I find after 40 hours, they get kind of nasty anyway, so it's just time to toss it. But no, you can't know. That's the whole problem with this whole game. This is why everyone sitting here watching me with a particle gunner, because I happen to be a weird guy and had one in my basement at the start of the pandemic. Well, I'm not weird, I just love aerosol science equipment, and that's my nerdiness. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to do this, plus just the ear loops, okay? So just as warned. So let's try it all again. But I'm just going to do it as if you were just like, oh, I'm just going to put my ear loops on. I'm not going to adjust the tightness on them. You should always adjust the tightness, but some people will not know that because we've done a terrible job as a country explaining people how to do these masks. Oh, it does. It's just not a good, I feel like this mask doesn't fit me very well. I feel it like leaking right on there. I almost feel like this nose, the nose foam helps. It makes it more comfortable. There we go. I think that's about as good as I'm going to get. Called there at 968. Yeah, so that's quite a bit more leakage. So we'll try it again, and then I'll shorten the ear loops. Ear loops didn't really feel tight. They're pretty casual. So it'll be a fun little game to play here of what happens as you tighten the ear loops up. You gotta really tighten those ear loops up until they're comfortable but tight, but not enough that they're folding your ears over. Have my ears got stiff over time? I don't really know. Maybe. I feel like maybe the answer is. I don't know what my ears felt like before the pandemic. Not something I really paid attention to. But I have a feeling they probably have gotten a little stiffened up over time. Maybe in 100 years, everyone will know you lived in the pandemic because you have harder ears than everyone. I think the F3 and 9502 is better than the F3502s. I agree, because the F9502 is KN5. KN95s have taper. I'm not taper hook, not a fan. Brian Gross says workplace. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, this mask will definitely meet workplace performance. Not 1.948 e to the 4. So 95%. So I saw like a 3% reduction. So, and we'll assume that's like really, really tight. So let's see what happens as I do this with shortened ear loops. And then we'll move on to the next one, the black version of this plus shortened ear loops. Copy this. Oh, I did bifold? How about bifold, Aaron? Bifold. There we go. Enter there. Copy, paste. As worn plus shorten ear loops. white. It's got the ear loops. It's got the concentration of 1.878 e to the 4. All right, I'm just gonna, for those that don't know, you can just tie a little slip knot. It's a nice little trick. You can also install cord locks or do a lot of other things. I feel like there's just so much detail about masks. I really wish the CDC would just make a nice, easy. I mean, 3M so far has a better document explaining N95s and masking than the frickin' CDC does. I don't get this. I don't understand what's going on with the CDC. Like, what's going on with y'all? This isn't hard to figure out how to do this. It's not rocket science. Some guy in his bathroom can figure out most of this. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a little tight. That's good. Much better. Yeah, that's more how I would wear it. Like, comfortable, not too, this is in the way. And it's maybe like a smidgen too tight. I wouldn't wear it that tight because that's like not comfortable. That's how I would wear it, like that. That's comfortable. Let's see how good I am at doing that. All right, we'll call it 1014. It's jumping around a lot, so I did not probably see much significant improvement by shortening the ear loops. I think this mask doesn't fit me. One thing I wonder is I have a dimpled chin, and I feel like it leaks there, and I wonder if that mask is moving off my chin, or this mask does not fit me. But it's a perfect example. Like, these bifolds don't fit my face very well, so you can see that I could get 99.34 with the as worn Oniq, and I just can't get it in bifolds. Now, does that mean bifolds look bad? No, it just means it doesn't fit my face. But I find boat masks just fit better for most people that I've worked with. Most people fit better with the boat mask. So the bifolds, very face specific. We'll give it 20 seconds here to stabilize, and we will move on to the next mask. 1.681 e to the 4. So we got 90. Yeah, so actually we've gotten worse results with just a tight ear loop. So that's pretty incredible. I think it's just variation in my method. Don't read into that too much. It's just variation in this method. I do like the nose wire on it. Okay, so now the million-dollar question is, okay, so this is the 3M version, and this is this one. They are exactly the same. So let's see if I can get them over to OSB here. Okay, now this is going to be hard for me to get the white balance right because it's going to go all nuts because the one's mask and white and one is black. So, and of course I punched the port on the other side of this mask. So if I put them over each other to show. Let's see, I'll get them lined up. They are literally the exact same size. I don't know if you can, how all that is visible, but you can see that that mask is literally identical to the other one. How they did the nose wire is the same. The nose wire material, it's got the little foam, it's got the nice metal wire, or the aluminum bridge. All the everything is identical. The seaming is identical, little triangle. Layer construction looks exactly the same. Spun bond, melt blown, spun bond, just a single layer. It's a 2-layer melt blown. Looks like it's 2 layers of melt blown. Oh no, it's one. It's hard to say. It might be 2 layers of melt blown. 2 thin layers of melt blown. Spun bond, 2 layers of melt blown, and then spun bond. Okay, so they're identical. Let's find out. They don't breathe any different to me. They feel exactly the same in terms of breathability. So let us find out. Oh, I plugged the port. Damn it. Be careful doing that. Flood your CPC. All right, so let's do 129. Ah! Why don't I just copy and paste if I See, I always lay the mask on my keyboard. You think I would learn something from that or not? 3M KF94 bifold. I'll just put it like that because I don't know what the actual technical name is. Yeah, that doesn't say. And it's all in Korean. 3M filter technology. So this is a KF94 version of the same mask. It's bifold. I'm just gonna do it with the mask clip because it's a waste of time. Let's just compare if the media is any different. Let the concentration stabilize. You see that little drop there? It's because I plugged the frickin' port with my finger. I have to be very careful on my CPC not flood it, otherwise I get in trouble. Just gonna let it stabilize here for a second. It looks like we're good. 1.538 e to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead and don the mask. Fit is exactly the same. Woo, baby, that's a tight ear bit. Oh man, I feel like the ear loops are maybe a little tighter. Maybe the ear loops are a little bit tighter. Feels the same in terms of breathability. It's 248. We've stabilized around 248. Yeah, so basically the same value. I don't see, 99.3 versus, or no, wait, what did I get before? 98.77 versus 99.1. That's not really that much different. I do think the ear loops are shorter though. So let me take one that has not been shortened ears, so I wait here. I feel like the ear loops are shorter on this black mask. Someone had said that this mask is designed for Asian faces, and I agree. I think it's one of the things we have to talk about. Like, we have to be very clear. Like, there is genetic differences, like in terms of your facial structure, based on the region of the world you are, and just your genetics in general. So the same mask, maybe they're the same. It felt like they were tighter. They're slightly shorter. Yeah, it just felt really tight on my face. It's too small for me. It's too small of a mask for me. So. If it fits someone else, though, that's great. I mean, good. I want more better masks out there. I'm glad to see this. I got this at Target. That's awesome, right? Now, the problem is it's the only one I saw at Target. They have some some N95s there, but it's like the only ear loop option. 9907. So that's good. It's within the range. So, again, it highlights like we can make great masks. But in terms of this mask being better than the white one, I do not notice the breathability. I'll do the breathability test. I do that offline because it's just, I guess I could videotape it. I just haven't in the past. It doesn't seem like anyway. I mean, like, my breathability measurement sucks, so it's not like I'm trying to hide anything. It's just not that interesting of a method to watch. So yeah, I got these at Target. They're good. Good media. I'm not a fan of the shape. They don't fit my face very well. So as usual, as I say, it's got to fit your face. Okay, what's next? I didn't punch any more masks. How's my concentration doing? Concentration stabilized. We're pretty good there. Let's do the battle of the duckbills. And then, what else we got? All the duckbills, and I got this MaskC and the Living Guard. All right, those will be up next. So let's do the Battle of the Duckbills quickly. I do like duckbill masks. They look ridiculous, and I haven't tested a Kimberly-Clark in a while, so I lost it, so I can't do my breathability check with it again, so that's kind of why I'm bringing this in. I don't know what happened to it. I keep all my masks, but sometimes they get misplaced. And then I have to go through, like, a bag of 100 of these things. Hundreds and hundreds of masks that I have. I'm going to throw this one away. I just mispunched that one. It's pretty rare. I've gotten pretty good at it. I used to mispunch all the time. Blox sent me a whole box of them. Thanks, Blox, for sending these. They're Thanks for sending this. He sent me a box of like 100 of them. So what do I do with all these extra masks? They go to schools. They go to neighbors. They all disappear. I make sure they disappear. They're no good. I learned a long time ago that the masks do no good sitting in my basement. And my project is about getting better masks on more faces. And if I'm not getting rid of the masks and getting more masks on better faces, am I really doing my job? It's not really my job. I don't get paid for it. I just do it. And no, I don't want to be paid for it. I don't care about the money part of it. It's really not that much money. It's the time that's the problem. I like my job normally. I like my day job. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be working there. But I do like it. And I like my coworkers. I don't want to quit that job. But I don't want to keep testing masks either because I'm getting tired of it. Because I'm only one person. All right. Something staple up. I was just looking through the comments. So many, you guys are chatting away so fast. I can't even keep up with it. I should have put slow mode on y'all. All right. These are the Blox. It's a NIOSH. It is a NIOSH. I just want to double check. I'm like 99% sure. Yeah, it's a NIOSH N95. And they put the lot number on it. You know, I will say the build quality of this, pretty nice. Blox, NIOSH N95. Now this is a NIOSH N95, which is nice. It's a duckbill. It's gonna be as worn. It's white. They do make a black one. They didn't send it to me. I asked specifically, can I have the black one, please? But they didn't send it to me. Sad. I was sad about that. 1.06 e to the 4. 1.06 e to the 4. Okay, let's go ahead and don this mask. Ooh. Ooh. These are made for small heads. Breathability, pretty good. Not as good as, it's good. It's not as good as like the 3M V-Flex. I'll do the comparison. That's why I brought out the old Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark one came out because you can't buy V-Flexes, and I feel like if I'm saying my favorite mask is the V-Flex and you can't buy it, I'm kind of a jerk. Now I happen to have a bunch of them because I bought a bunch. Because they were 80 cents, I was like, I'll buy 30 of these things, so it's 15 bucks. I'll stop talking and get my measurement. I'm getting a little something right there. Yeah, I'm getting like right. I think this mask is like just a smidgen too small for me. Right here, I can feel it. I think it's gone now. All right, I'm gonna call that 581. It's jumping around a little bit, but it seems like it's stabilized. 581. 581. I will say that this mask is a little small for me and it's leaking. So we'll do it with fix the mask because I get a leak right here. I can feel like cool air right there. I think this mask is too small for me. So when the headbands are like open, it's fighting too much and probably tearing the mask because I did hear it tear a little bit. Oh, it did tear. It did tear when I put it on. It's too small for me. We'll put the fix the mask on. It tore right there. I could hear it when I put it on because I'm too big for that mask. So definitely not an Aaron size mask. No, someone's gonna look at this and go, "Oh my God, the mask doesn't work. It's only it's a NIOSH N95. I know it works. I'll put the fix the mask on it. We'll see it go beautifully, be all beautiful because it's an issue with it doesn't fit my face." So this is highlights. Well, people are correct. You cannot get maximum protection from a mask without being fit. But this mask It does not fit me, and I still got 94%. Now, I'm going to try to get up to 99% to get even to show how good the media is inside of it. But it highlights, like, if you're wearing a cloth mask and getting 50% and you can get 94%, that is almost a 10x reduction in the viral dose you would inhale. 10x! We should be striving. Yeah, sure, I can't get to 99%, which would be what we would get for a fitted N95 in a stationary position like this. But, like, are we really going to argue 10x improvement versus 50x improvement? Like, I would take that any day of the week over 10% improvement or 20%, 0.2x improvement. Yeah. Let's put this thing on. I haven't worn this thing in a little while. All right, it's going to hit the microphone. Sorry. All right. Yeah, this mask is a little bit too small for my head. Oh, I hear it tearing. Tearing. It's tearing the mask. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm tearing it up. So I gotta like stretch. My only complaint is they need better elastic on the ear loops. That would be my complaint. It just does not have enough. That's why I like the 3M ones. Although annoying and for different reasons. Annoying for different reasons. Let's just get this test going. 1.132 e to the 4. All right, I called it at 139. 139. Go ahead and take. Let's pop the tube off. I can't see. So it highlights. Actually, I could feel it leaking right there. So actually, it's a sign that although I'm a mega Elastomeric, unless you had done this as much as I have, you would not know that tiny sensation. I've gotten so good at it. I've done so many times. I can be like, yeah, I feel a tiny bit of air. Something's not right here. Like it's just a little weird sensation for me. But this mask is too small for me. This bottom loop. Look, I cannot get this bottom loop off my head with. Yeah. So my only complaint of this is if you have a big melon, this is not going to work. Good if you have a small melon. I wish they'd use slightly better straps. Yeah, I did tear the mask right there. I don't know. Let's see if I can get it on camera here. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I open it up a little bit. Can you see it? Can you see that little tear that happened right there? It's too small for my face, so it's just ripping the mask. I noticed it right away. I heard it immediately. It's just too small. All right, we're going to let this stabilize here for 1 second. All right, 1.06 e to the 4. 1.06 e to the 4. What do we end up with? Yep, 98.73. Yep, so that's about what I would expect. So good mask, it just doesn't fit. Highlights, but it does highlight. It's kind of crazy because I can actually detect that. I'm kind of surprised that I can. I'm a little bit too much of a nerd. I can detect the fact that the mask does not fit my face. So if we all did this enough, I think if we trained everyone, they wouldn't even need to be probably fitted to get. You're not going to get to 99% for sure, 1% leakage. But it does highlight, like, it's not hard. You just need the equipment. What if someone made the same particle counter but open sourced it? What an amazing human that would be. All right, let's do this. Ah. All right, punched on the Kimberly-Clark. Do the Living Guard mask next. I put it on first. It doesn't breathe very well. It's just a cloth mask. Good cloth mask. Got a polypropylene layer in the middle. What are we at? 20,000? All right, let's kick this baby off. All right. Let me mark the... Oh, itchy little thing. The tag's itchy. I guess I could cut... I mean, you're probably expected to cut the tag off. No seam there, so I'm okay to punch it there. So here we go. You only have one of these things, and they're kind of expensive. Not as expensive as the Sonovia mask. What another mask that made a lot of claims. 99% bacterial, blah blah blah. And then you go test, and it's like, well, that's because you tested. Yeah, maybe I should have. Maybe I'll do a whole show about how to make your mask look better than it really is, because there are a bunch of shitty mask standards out there that aren't to be used with respirators, but keep getting used as respirator standards because most people don't understand that level. Why would you know about respirators unless you're a mask nerd? But like they keep using F2299 standard, the ASTM F22, which is meant for surgical masks, which can allow you to test at some pretty easy conditions to make your mask look good, and I see it happening all the time. Well, I'm gonna punch in here. I'm gonna punch some more. Oh, this is a big boy. Ah, big boy mask. It's a big mask. Now, did the school district do it right? Well, it has all the labeling requirements, and it's got the LA sticker on it, which is like their quality metric. It's like a private company that does quality type stuff in China. So it has all the labeling requirements. So I'm gonna guess it's probably legit, but that would just be a guess at this point. If you pay attention to that, there's a Washington Post story that I just linked to. The other school district was like, he said it was fake before he even tried it. And the answer is because it didn't make the labeling requirements. Guess what? MaskC mask here, they don't meet the labeling requirements. It only says KN95, and the packaging says crap. Doesn't even tell you that what standards apply to. They include a little, here's a little certification thing. Who makes these things? Hefway, Hawaiian Sanitary Materials, GB's 2626, 2006. Whatever, it's giving them a long, but at least they include that. But maybe I'll pull up the standard. Sorry, I'm just gonna keep punching masks while I got everything set up here. Normally I do this before the show, but or before I do this, I'm running out of time at the end of every day. This material is kind of hard to punch. I don't know what y'all can see. Probably just looking at the side of my body. Hope you're enjoying it. There we go. We'll do one pink one, and we'll pick another random color. What's my other color should I pick? All right, what's my other MaskC color going to be? Pink and... I mean, the colors are beautiful. I'll give them that. Those MaskC colors are really, they're really vibrant. You got blue, green. For my brother, he likes green. Green's his favorite color. I guarantee he would not wear this green, but nonetheless, it's for him. Speaking of which, I have a present for my brother. I need to give that to him. Maybe I'll ride my bike over there. Okay, mark the location. So you can't see it, but I'm looking in the mirror marking. I like to mark right where my mouth is. I do that for two reasons. One, so if I accidentally suck in, I don't plug the CPC against my face, because this thing has liquid butanol inside of it, and it will flood, and then I'll be in trouble. And they don't service this thing anymore because it's 25 years old. So if I have to send it back to TSI, they tell me to go pound sand. So that is the nature of the beast. All right, let's do this thing. Welcome back. I'm back. Hello. Sorry, we're having to watch that. All right, let's do our duckbill. It's all about that duckbill lifestyle. The straps on the Kimberly-Clark remind me of diapers. I swear it's the same stretchy material that would be featured in my son's diapers, which brings back a little bit of nightmares, but I love my son, but kids are, oof. Everyone always say kids are a lot of work, and you never believe them, and then you have one yourself, and you're like, yeah, they're a lot of work. but well worth it. Kimberly, let's see, Kimberly. Oh, come on, Kim Wells, Kimberly Clark, NIOSH N95. This is again another NIOSH N95. It's duckbill. We're gonna do it as worn. It's white, and it's head strap. And well, I only have one, so we'll wait till the end. I'll see how much they size-wise how they compare to the Blox. Yeah, the Blox tore. All right, 1.772 e to the 4. All right, let's go ahead and install the MaskC here. Ooh, I hear it crinkling and crackling again. No, see, those straps are much better. I mean, they're not. I hate the blue color, but they have not as tight, but they at least, you know, stretch over the head pretty well. Breathability is better on this than the Blox, for sure. I'm testing this because I think it's like the cheapest, best duckbill. How much do they go for these days? Let's look while we wait for a second here. I'm going to be quiet so I can get the test over with, but let's look. Oh, they're at 767. Oh, not there. How about here, Aaron? 767. No, there we go. All right, let's take this thing off. Straps are like, they stretch better. Not as tight, though. No, this is an old one. This has been sitting in that base downstairs for a year or so. Let's see how it does. But the breathability is way better. Yeah, I saw that the Halards are now on Amazon too, so maybe I'll order some for the next one. So many masks, not enough time. And the biggest issue right now is like availability is so tight across the board. It's so crazy right now. I've never seen the mass market this tight. I used to tell everyone, don't buy in bulk, because why would you buy in bulk? You can always find them later, buy 5 or 10. Like, you never know what the better mask is, and now maybe I'm regretting saying that. Someone asked, any thoughts on why the CDC and the media always talk about KN95s? Because I don't know why, because the CDC keeps talking about KN95s, and then in the same sentence saying, well, and 60% of them are fake. Then why even talk about them? Why are we talking about KN95s? Stop talking about them. Say KF94. Say FFP2. Say anything else other than the thing that you acknowledge 60% of are fake. I don't understand it. Sorry, remember I told you I touch my nose all the time. It starts to get a little runny in the winter time here. I was smashing it all the time with nose wires. All right. Boom, we got the concentration. It is up. It is 1.516 e to the 4. So what do we get? 95.33. Let's try with Fix the Mask. We got it on already. Because I am curious if the headbands aren't really that tight, and I feel like I'm going to have to compare the V-Flex to these, but I feel like the V-Flex is bigger than these. I think these are too small for me. But it's good to know if they're too small for me. That means they're going to be... I mean, it's just good to know, like, V-Flex bigger. And the V-Flex does make a 9105S, which I'm guessing is the same size. I had 10 of them, and I had a bunch of V-Flexes 9105S's, and I sent a bunch to a friend, an Aerosol person, who regularly is now who started wearing 9105 9105S's in her Twitter profile. I think I might have been the reason that she started trying those out. She's cool. She's super cool. She's smart at, like, super, yeah, she's awesome. But anyways, I sent a bunch of those for another test that she was running, and I think that's how. But I sent all of the ones almost all the ones I had. Fix the mask. So now I don't have any of those, the smalls, because I didn't figure there would be this much run on masks. Now I can't even buy any of those things. All right, 1.597. I do love that all my tests now are like 97, 95. No one ever sees the old. If you go back to my old day, it was like, oh, this one got like 93%. We don't see that anymore. All right, 355. It's stabilized at 355. So there you go. It is a fit issue for me. So I'm glad I have a fix the mask now. I didn't have it back when I very first shot this video because they existed. I just kind of was not playing with them yet. I think the issue is that the headbands aren't tight enough, and I think this mask is too small for me. I think that's probably why I ran into the same issue with the Gerson, is that it's too small. So right away, yes, so the Blox is smaller than the Blox is smaller than the Kimberly-Clark by a few millimeters, probably about 5 to 6 millimeters, maybe 2 or 3 millimeters. And then I'll compare that to the V-Flex, but I think the V-Flex is quite a bit bigger, which makes sense. So these are too small for me. Still a good mask, 97.78. I think the 3M material is better, though. I will say that. Because the V-Flex, I bet you if I fix the mask on plus my V-Flex, because last time I did the V-Flex, I just did it as worn. I bet you if I fix the mask in, it's probably going to get like just a 99.4. That's a better material, and you're getting better filtration efficiency for the same pressure drop. So why would you go for that option? But can't get the V-Flex right now, so what does it matter? It's like talking about the thing you can't buy. 0e to the 4. All right, so 97.71. Yeah. So there you go. That way, that one someone doesn't think that this is a bad mask. It's NIOSH again, over and over again. NIOSH N95. You're so good. All right, let's go to the end of the spectrum. I got to make sure I write this one in right because they got a different options. Okay, I bought the safety mask, premium 3-layer cloth face mask with living guard technology and filtration. It says and. Let me jump over to OSB so I can see the feedback. I don't know if y'all can see that. It says and filtration. Okay, so it has filtration. Let's see what it says about that. Star. This product contains an antimicrobial agent to prevent microorganisms from degrading the face mask. What else do they say? One of these guys like to make a lot of claims about this thing. So let's see. No, designed in Switzerland, manufactured in Santa Clara, San Jose, California. Wow, so they actually made it here in the U.S. Good for them. No lot of information on that, though. Oh, wait. The box says manufactured for Living Guard in Santa Clara, California, but it's actually made in Portugal with Swiss fabric. So can't knock them for that. Outer is 100% cotton. Middle, 100% polypropylene. They use a spun bond middle layer. It's just going to be a good cloth mask. So that's my guess. Let's find out. We'll do it as worn, and then we will do it with Fix the Mask. Get a good baseline of how the filtration. Who wants to go age here? I'm going to guess 69%. I dropped the green one. All right. Also check the comments now. All right, we're so far down the list. You guys are so much talking. I'm going to miss so much of those. We won't get them. All right, let's let this stabilize here for a second. All right, 1.303 e to the 4. Oh, 1.303 e to the 4. All right, I'll don the mask. And now it does have ear loop adjusters. Oh, that's upside down. It's got this, like, you know, from a mask design, it's actually not bad from a mask design because it's got this, like, elastic material on the bottom. Fit-wise, you know, good job. All right, jump around a lot. We're going to call it 1306. 1306 is jumping around. Actually, you know, it's not bad. 89%, you know, not bad. I bet you we won't get much better with Fix the Mask. It does feel like actually a good seal. Now, 89% relative to 99% or 95%, 5x difference. Clearly not 8 and 95. While we wait for that 20 seconds, I am curious. Let's look. Let's go look to the Living Guard's website. Let's see what the claims they make. Living Guard safety mask. See. Oh, I guess I have 2 G. That's only a single G. Let's fix that because I have 2 G's here. They're sharing the G in their name. Okay. 10. 14.94. Oh, it's gone down in price since I bought it. Oh, the three-layer face covering for everyday person. The safety mask filters more than 95% of particles. I don't find that to be true. Sustainable, washable, 30 times. So I've never washed it, and it's still. Actually, I bet you I should wash it. Can I? Maybe I'll throw it machine washable. Let's just check the care. Oh, let's get the concentration, and then I'll check the care tag. 1.196 e to the 4. 1.196 e to the 4. Let's check the care tag. Care tag says outer layer. Let's see. What? Oh, here's. It doesn't have English. I got Spanish. I got French. I got Spanish, French. Oh, here we go. Do not use detergent or bleach. Hand wash in cold water every 7 days. Wash up to 30 times. Do not stretch or wring. Air dry in shade. So you can't machine wash it. Okay, well, I'm not going to... We'll let this stabilize. So 89.5. You know, it's better than the Synovia mask as worn. We'll do it with the Fix the Mask and see how they stack up. So better of the two, but again, not great. The breathability is garbage. I can tell you that. It's not very breathable. You can see it puffing in and out. Oh, I'm wearing the Fix the Mask. Oh, I think I've done this once or twice before I know how to do it. Either way, I hate when they claim 95%. Not even close to 95, because I'm testing N95s. They filter 95% too. But they actually meet the spec. 1.187 e to the 4. All right, 689. So you get about 94. Oh, hey, you know what? Better than I expected, but the question is it actually washable? So it says, I can't see what the material is inside. I wonder, so it says polypropylene, but it doesn't say what it is. So it could be like the Enro, which is that they use melt blown, but it loses its electrostatic charge once you wash it. I can't see what's in there. I don't want to cut it open because I only have one of these. But if you had to pick one of the Soniva or Living Guard, I guess you'd probably pick the Living Guard. It does seem to be a little bit better material inside of it. So, there's a box in my bag. You know, the reality is though, you can make these claims, but you can't wash it. So it says, do not use detergent or bleach. Do not stretch a ring. All dry in the chain. So maybe I'll wash some of these and let them see how much better you get. Again, I still don't recommend these things because we'll test the pressure drop, and the pressure drop's not very good. So you can get 99% for the same pressure drop, which is like 5 times better in terms of filtration efficiency. 1.136 e to the 4. But you know what? It's better than I expected. 9407. I still don't like your 95% claim. Now let's test some, we got a few minutes here. Let's test KN95 from our friends over at MaskC. Now, okay, so let's talk a little bit about KN95. It's not labeled correctly. So let's jump over to OSB so we can show you. So this is the MaskC one. It just says KN95. Notice there's nothing else labeled on it. Now I'm going to throw over here to this one. We'll test this one. I don't know what brand it is, Zenite, but it does have a lot of the correct labels. So it's got manufacturer. It's got the GB2626 2019 KN95. There's 2 letters of Chinese text. Those might be the model name. I don't speak Chinese enough to know what that is. And then they have the LA sticker, and that's a quality check. And there's the 4-digit code, or the number for LA, which we'll check. It'll be a little interesting. So, do these meet the KN95 standard? No, they meet Section 7 of the KN95. You hear Lloyd Armbrust talk about this all the time, too. Section 7 of the standard requires you to have quite a bit of information on your mask, including the manufacturer name. Now, this is MaskC, but they don't say MaskC on it. I wonder why. Probably because MaskC doesn't make this mask. They don't make the mask. Someone else makes it, and they don't want to tell you who that is, because then you would just go buy it from them. And then what's all the branding on Amazon going to do for it? Or whoever I don't know, maybe they don't sell them on Amazon. I'm not sure where exactly they sell them. All right, let's try it out. We'll do it as worn. Nose wire is weak. Pressure drop is terrible. Oh, that's a tough one to breathe in. But it's going to do good. I bet you they got 2 layers of melt blown in there. It keeps coming off my nose. I'm just going to... I'll just shorten the ear loops. What's the point? Like, we're going to shorten them up. I know that they're too loose on my head. And this mask, it doesn't really fit my face very well. It feels like it's kind of big. feels big, and it's popping off my face. Oh, those are too tight now. Okay, that's good. It's still leaking at the nose. The nose wire is garbage. All right, I got there at 1270. It's not sealing on my nose. You can just see it moving around. So 89%. I can tell it's leaking. Like, you can just feel it blasting past my nose. I have a feeling it'll do really good. Well, we'll see, I guess. I mean, I've been wrong twice today now. Tommy Ernest says, I was told the US KN95 don't have to have numbers on them. Well, there is no standard of KN95 in the US. That's a Chinese standard. And so it's a Chinese test standard. So if you, in my opinion, if you say you are meeting the KN95 standard, which is you stamped on your mask, and you're saying, I sell this to you as a KN95, and you don't label it as a KN95 appropriately, did you really follow the standard? That's why. We'll let this stabilize for a second, and then we'll fix the mask, and we'll get the baseline value of it. The nose wire is very weak on this mask. It's not very strong, like really low end nose wire on it, just not stiff at all. So it just like is opening up on my nose, so like I seat it, and then it kind of opens up and pulls away, and I can feel it leaking right past there. Very common problem. 1.04 E4. So let's do fix the mask. And then we'll kick the generator on, answer some questions, test the last couple masks we have, and then I'm done for the day. Put the stuff all back in the basement, go hang out in the sun, maybe we'll go ice skating, go do something outside. It's a beautiful day. It's cold, but what is it out there today? Just curious out of my own interest. What is the temp? Oh, it's 19. It's beautiful. Oh, we got to get outside today. Got to get outside. Go ice skating, go sledding, go for a walk, go do something with my wife and my son. Maybe we'll walk over to my brother's house and drop off his present. Oh, whew. Breathability, not great. Oh, gotta remember to do this in the right order. Whew. Breathability, very low. Color, very good, but breathability. All right, 99.75. It's getting just below 10,000, so I'm going to have to kick my generator back on there. Whew. I called there at 150.9. 150.9. So go ahead and pop that off. So media is good, and it feels like they got 2 layers of melt blown. So it's like it's pretty aggressive on the pressure drop. You can probably see it collapsing and opening up. Not very breathable, but they are legitimate in terms of their filtration efficiency, which is good. For the price they charge on the thing. The other thing I noticed is like the material is really soft, like the Dr. Puri on the outside. It reminds me a lot of the Dr. Puri. Let's test the pink one. Now I'm just going to test it with Fix the Mask because who really cares about whether this one is any different? It feels the same. Nose wire is just, yeah, the nose wire is super, yeah, it's a wimpy nose wire. I mean, it's just completely wimpy. So if you have a strong nose bridge, this is not going to be the mask for you. Oh, let's kick. Oh, what am I doing? Kick the generator on. Oh, no, do not kick the generator on. Get your concentration first. 9705. Oh, we're way below our spec, so. Okay, there you go. Yeah, the thing does not breathe very well. All right, I'm waiting for the concentration to stabilize. It's hard to breathe in. It's actually kind of making me lightheaded. It's so hard. It's really bad. All right, there we go. All right, we got one more ask after this. While we wait for this concentration to stabilize, let's talk a little bit about the LA quality check. LA Quality Check is a private manufacturing quality check system. You can go to this Chinese website and you can put in the number. Now, let's just do it live. So this is the website that you would look. If you look in the bottom left of the screen, you'll see it here. Okay, so now you're going to input the number. So the number on this mask is 17-44-201029. So if I hit search, it does find a value. This is the name of the company. This is the certification that they did to. I don't know what that is. Someone who knows Chinese might know, but I think that is the name of the mask. It's been a little while since I did this. I did this with 3M's masks, and they were of course all legit. The 3M KN95s that come out of China. 9501 and 9502 are the 3M KN95s that come out of China. Okay, where's my Google Translate here? Why can't I find Translate? Here we go. Translate. Translate. Chinese. Okay. Let's see. What does that say again? All right. The question is made in China. Okay. So that's made in China. First copy. I don't know what that means. It's not pulling it up. Get the mouse out of the way. That's probably why. I don't know what the characters are. First copy. Maybe that's poor translation. Anyways. They got the first one in 20/04/2017. Notice when their expiration expired. 12/03/2021. This red flag expired. So interesting. Interesting. They're probably legitimate, but I wonder why they didn't extend with their Yeah, kind of interesting. I don't know why. So 2689 is a 4. 2689 is a 4. 2689 is a 4. Okay. So interesting that they are no longer valid. Called it 294. 294. All right. I'm going to be honest with you, this thing is super hard to breathe in. It actually kind of almost gives me a headache because it's like so hard to breathe in. Ugh. I would not, I mean, if you really like colors, I guess, but if you have a strong nose bridge, that's not going to be the mask for you. All right, we'll let that stabilize. And then we're going to do these masks that came out of the Richmond Public School, Arlington Public Schools. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. So let me see the other mess. Their nose wire is offset on this one. It's good. No offset on that one. Offset, not as much. This one's the worst of the bunch, so I'll slide it over for him. There we go. Now it's centered. That can happen in mass. I'm not too worried about that. It's easy to slide it over. Nose wire is pretty good. It's stiff. That's good. All right, 2.414 e to the 4. Let me finish that one up. Now I'll do the pressure drop measurements after this. I don't live stream that because it's not that interesting. It's just me timing how long it breathes. I have a whole video about how I do that method. Aaron 2.0 doesn't really work that great because Aaron 2.0, although, you know, probably more handsome than me, has a problem that he's handsome, but he's pretty dense and pretty hard. So it's hard to get a mask to seal there. I have to tweak that a little bit, use some different materials, look at some tapes or foams to seal. I did use VHB, but that wasn't enough. All right, so this is the, oh gosh. Is it Tenrite or Zenrite? Or I don't know exactly what that name is. I'll show the camera here. All right, so it's hard. Let's see if you can make that out. It's like Zen. What do you guys think? Zenrite? I think I'm going to go with Zenrite. Zenrite. KF94. Now it has all of the labeling correct, so good on them. It has all of the correct labeling. But the problem is that the LA thing is expired. So what happened? Why did they expire? But maybe they probably bought these before they expired. Maybe they just didn't review it. I don't know. Is Ren right? All right. What's the concentration before we do this? 2.062 e to the 4. 0.062 e to the 4. Oh, not a bad mask. Nose wire is actually not bad. Not bad. If I can get it to seal, ear loops are just not quite tight enough. Getting a little bit of leak. Ear loops are not tight enough. It's still leaking like right there. Oh wait. All right, I called there at 356. We're bouncing around a little bit over, a little bit under. It's going to estimate at 356. So, yeah, good mask. We'll do it with Fix the Mask too, but it's a well-fitting mask for me. Yeah, not bad. Legit. Good job, Arlington Public Schools. You gave a good mask. It has all the labeling requirements, has the thing. I don't know why that LA is expired, but, you know, at least they did way better than others, and I'm not sure why they didn't renew their LA. Maybe they did. Maybe the masks that after this have a different number. I don't. Maybe that's how it goes for a period of time. I don't know enough about how that company works. But breathability is not bad either. It's not amazing, but not terrible either for that level. I mean, versus you'll see that the MaskC has got to be like twice as hard to breathe in that thing. So if you look at like the pressure drop data as it comes in, you're going to see like this mask performed better. You know, I didn't even have to use Fix the Mask to get 98%. It fit me better. And then, but then what it means is that the breathability is just so much better. And I think, you know, 1.928 e to the 4. 1.928 e to the 4. I think also there's, and I haven't had a chance to do that, but I really would love to do a study about breathability and the impact on leakage for ear loop masks. For N95, it's probably not a big of a deal because, well, it's probably harder to resolve. But for ear loops, I have a feeling that the lower the drop, the pressure drop, the more you can get away with ear loops. You just need to make sure that the pressure drop is low, which is like what we see with the KF94s that I test that are really good. All right, let that stabilize. All right, 2.02 e to the 4. 2.02 e to the 4. Yeah, much easier. Notice this mask is not. It does still collapse, but it's not like completely sucking to my face like the MaskC does. Called the Zren rate. I think that's what that labeling is. Zren rate? I go there at 317. We kind of bounced around a little bit there. So go ahead and pull it off. Pretty good. Not a bad mask. So I think I'm not very concerned at all about the Richfield or the Arlington Public Schools. Good mask. I hope they're not giving it to kids. They're big. They're a bigger mask, but yeah. Just want to make sure my punch looks all good there. So there's someone submitting some more of them, but I think based on what I'm seeing, I'm not really worried about it. They all feel the same. Loops look good. Ear loops are good. They did a good job heat seaming them. Yeah, these are good masks. Not bad. Meet all the KN95 labeling requirements. Ah! I broke one. Look at that. Well, I'm trying not to break them, but yeah, the ear loop on that one, not great. But it wouldn't have failed in tension. You can peel them the wrong, since this mask's already broken, we'll just show you. You peel them the wrong way. That's the test. See? That's the test. It's good. Not bad at all. I'll just toss that in the garbage. 1.723 e to the 4. 98.31. So actually, like it sealed really well on my face. That's amazing. All right, that's the end of the mask for today. I got nothing else. Let's throw it over. I'll do 10 minutes of questions or something like that, and then I'm done, and then I'm going to go do some stuff. I'm going to eat some lunch, and then I'm going to go do some stuff. I don't need the paper bag, but I do want your nice note, because your note has your name on it, in case I need to get a hold of you again. So, Arlington Public Schools, they're good. All right, let's throw it over there. Oh boy, let's see. So many comments. Talking about 9205. What's for lunch? I don't know. Probably a sandwich. Turkey sandwich with some queso, some cheese. I'm gonna make some nachos. Actually, now that I said the word queso. Let's see if there's any questions. Yeah, I wore the. Oh yeah, because I saw a bunch of people are talking about the Vitacores. Those are good masks. I mean, they're FFP3s, so like, oops, sorry, they're FFP3s, so you're kind of gonna chase that. Can you talk about the ideas for making schools safer? How can kids eat lunch safely? So, yeah, you got to take masks off for lunch. If you're like us in Minnesota, you can't eat outside anymore. So the answer is portable HEPA units keep kids separated and get as much airflow in the lunchroom as you can. That's about all you can do. And then the goal is, try to reduce it as much as you can. There's only so much we can do, but I think ventilation is huge. Like if you get like 6 air changes, or you can get like 4.5 to 5 air changes per hour, you're getting like a 95% reduction. And that actually, is that really true? Now that I say that, like I think that's 95% reduction after a period of time. The question is, do you actually get live 95? I think the idea is keep lunch short, so time. We can reduce time, increase ventilation. That's the next thing you do, and we should make sure we have doing testing in schools. I think that between all those things, you can make schools safe for sure, as safe as you're going to get it. You're not going to have more cases than your background. Hey, Aaron, please make sure to include the nose wire breathability info in the MaskC for people who look for the sheet later. Yeah, I always measure it, the length, and I'll put the ABC data and all that in there, but it is a weak nose wire. What's your thoughts on reusable Elastomeric P100s? I think they're great. A lot of people are talking about this GBS, the really compact one. Looks great. I just don't really do a lot with Elastomerics because my goal is to get people off of cloth masks. I don't know too many people are going to go to cloth to Elastomeric, so people typically go like, you get your KF94, then you start trying N95, you're like, those aren't so bad, and then you start finding good Elastomeric. So it's just that journey. I want people off of cloth. We've got to get people off of cloth masks. They're just not effective enough to stop the spread of COVID. So that's my goal. So remember, my goal is better masks on more faces. So I'm always balancing those two things or trying my best to. I'm not perfect, but that's my goal. Aaron, super sorry to ask, since you have the Fix the Mask, do you think you could try the Air Queen with Fix the Mask? I actually have. Look at previous test data. I have tried that before. And you're just going to get 90% around that. I think I tested that in the past. You might be confusing 9205s Aurora with Blue Plans with 9502s bifold. But sorry, I haven't tried the 92. They must be talking to someone else. Would you be interested in people sending you masks? Nah, not. I mean, depends what you got. I guess I have access to a very different market here in Europe. Oh yeah. So here's the problem. I'm kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. I can't keep doing this for this much. I'm really tired. I'm getting a little burned out, so I'm gonna have to turn the mask testing down. I got other things to work on. I'll still be doing advocacy and stuff like that, but like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Because if I test a bunch of European masks, then it's about sourcing, really. It's more about sourcing. What y'all need is a European mask nerd. So if you got a CPC and you're in Europe, please do this. I'll help you. I'll tell you everything you need to know. But I need someone in Europe to do it. I think each country needs their own mask nerd because the governments are really failing at doing this. I don't know anyone who wears cloth. That's good. I'm seeing a lot more surgical out there, but surgicals, they're better, but they're not. We got to get off of surgical and cloth. We need fitted masks that are designed to seal to the face. Now, it may not be perfect for everybody. We're not going to get everyone to 99%, but boy, we can get off of 50%. That'd be great. Would there be any use? Yeah, you can use Fix the Mask to use a bolt style or trifold style mask. Totally can do that. It'll help improve the seal. That's why you see me use it all the time here, and you see that's why I call it like a media level test. What I'm trying to do is seal it as tight as I can to my face to show like what's the difference between as worn versus like tightly sealed to my face. And hopefully that delta represents the fit factor relative, or like how well the media inside of it performs. Something about ordering brands like Under Armour and their $20 cloth mask. Oh yeah. So I mean, actually, I was surprised by the Living Guard. It's better than I thought. They probably have melt blown in there. It's just not electrostatic charge. You can actually get decent filtration with melt blown. You got to remember, like before electrostatic charge in the 90s, early 90s, I think they were mostly using just pure melt blown without the electrostatic charge really strongly, and so they just had poor breathability. And so that's what you've been trading off. So that mask wasn't terrible, but it's terrible breathability, and I get way better results. So at this point, it's like, and you have no idea. They don't rate it. They're not showing any test data. It's not certified to any standard or tested against any standard. So if you don't test your product to a standard, I've moved on from you. Had plenty of time to do it, like MaskC, Happy Mask. Go send your MaskC, do F3502, and be done with it, and show the results. Stop playing around with it. You got the money. You got the time. I kind of wonder why you haven't. Maybe because your mask doesn't perform as well as you think. That's my hypothesis. Anyways, if on Amazon you see made in Korea on the KF94, is that enough to make? I don't know with Amazon. Amazon's an S show. It is just, because you got KF94s being advertised that they're made in Korea and then they ship from a Chinese company. I've seen it all over the place when I was doing an article I did that segment with Marketplace with Kai Rizdal. We were doing that, going and browsing websites, and you didn't see all the ones that we visited because they edited it down, but we found like this highly advertised KF94. It's had like a video on it. It was sponsored. It looked like this great video. Made in Korea, blah, blah, blah. And then you go to the link and it's a Chinese company. And then you're like, well, maybe it is made in Korea, but maybe North Korea. So I don't think that my little statement about North Korea, I think, is the reason that got cut. But yeah, I don't mess with Amazon. If you have a brand that you found before that you're confident is a South Korean KF94, you can roll the dice on that. I don't think there's a ton of fakes because the KF94 market, specific masks that have like a lot of design features are really hard to copy, but there are designs with this, I see all the time, this is Chinese KF94 design where they like mock it or make a copy of it and then advertise the KF94. It has this like diamond pattern. It's the same mask everywhere. The fake buttons I got are the exact same design, so I think that exists out there. So I don't know. I just don't touch Amazon. Let Lloyd do Amazon, although his test has some issues, so hopefully he gets that fixed. Hey Aaron, is there a way you'd like to help from your legion of followers? Would it help to outsource anything like tactical things that are wasting your time? For me, it's just time that I spend, because if I spend talking to people to help, like the real fundamental issue is that you need the government to do this. No amount of people are ever going to be able to solve this problem, because as more people want N95s, the amount of information you need to supply, it goes up. And so it's a never-ending battle. I do appreciate the offer. To me, I don't know. I've been thinking about how I can use to be more effective, using people that want to help, because there are a lot of people that want to help. I don't have a good answer, but I am thinking about that. So thank you for thinking that, and we'll figure out I'll try to figure out how to do that. Let's see. Is there an Amazon? Here's an example. If an automaker seems to be made in Korea on a KF94, correct? I think they covered that before. Your impact on TV internet is gigantic. We'd love to take work off your plate. Yeah, no, I think I'm trying to figure out how do you do it. Do you think, though, Consumer Reports, Wirecutter, RTINGs could fill the role of mass testing? They should. I don't know why the Consumer Reports. Come on, Wirecutter. Look, this is the one thing that annoys me. It's not that expensive to have legitimate mask tests. I was working with 4C Air. They're a They make that 4C Air mask, nice nano mask. Actually, they're one of the few nano materials that I've seen that actually seems to be okay, at least maybe on par with electrostatic. So I got to give them credit for that. They also have a NIOSH lab that they do, because they make some certified masks apparently. They charge, I think, don't quote me on it, it's like $100 to test a mask to the NIOSH standard instantaneous flow test. So $100 a mask. Now you're a Wirecutter and you're going to test 10 masks. It costs $1,000. If you're a Wirecutter, that is nothing. I don't think that's very much money to run an article that's going to get tens of millions, well, maybe 1 million views or something over the period of time, right? How long has the Happy Mask been on there? Go send them to a legitimate lab. It's not expensive. Stop sending it. The dude in Boulder is cool. I can't remember the gentleman's name that's doing it, but they have a pipe that they set it over. So they're only doing like a swatch style test. Just go send it to a legit tester. You'll see a news article coming out on Tuesday where where I helped to do that. So it's not that expensive. We should be doing that. So news publications, just go send them to a fish lab and get it done. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. People should be using labs now. Stop watching no one should be using my data anymore. Let's go get good data. Aaron, the comment that you made about 3M foam nose wire made my day, because I haven't actually got my 3M mask yet. Oh yeah, the nose foam on 3M's mask, like the 9205 Plus, the Aura series with that nose foam, and that chunky aluminum nose wire. It's a damn good design. Chris asks, do you still recommend MaskLab masks? Yeah, love MaskLab masks. I do take a little bit of an annoyance with them. So in the beginning, I kind of give deference to meeting like FFP2 standards and like doing all the things. Like, so you could, you know, like if you're a mask manufacturer and you're like, I tested to the FFP2 and I'm still waiting to get certified and stuff like that, like I gave deference to that. I'm a little annoyed because they haven't certified their mask to an actual standard. Like FFP2 goes to a notifying body. I haven't seen them do it yet. Now I kind of know why, because you need to label a mask in a very specific way, and that destroys the whole MaskLab branding, which is like these beautiful printed masks if you're gonna have like all this text that you have to fit on it. So I would like to see them certify it to some standard. Maybe I mean, the test data legit, they're a good mask, so don't get me wrong. And they're very transparent about their test data, so I have to give them like a thumbs up for that. So I have no issue with their mask. I totally trust them. My wife wears them all the time. But I would like to see them get to some certification level, just because if I'm saying that, hey, look, KN95 should be doing that, and you have an uncertified MaskLab mask, like as treating as a respirator, I feel like I have to be even to that. So I would like to see them get it certified to some test standard. Submit it to F3502. Do something. The only other issue right now is if you're getting stuff out of Hong Kong, it is tied up tight. Chinese New Year, flights, no flights. If you're trying to order masks like Seiwus and stuff, it's really hard. Is your hardware sensible enough to notice the effects of low electrostatic charge? Yes, they would show up as a low filtering mask. Or it could be electrostatic charge, it could be the melt-blown fiber diameter and packing density. There's a lot of things that go into the filtration, but yes, I can resolve if a media is not very good. Some of Lloyd's tests have not been believable compared to the same mask tested by AC. Yes, I agree. There's a problem with his pressure drop measurement. Hopefully he gets that resolved, or at least takes a look at a little closer at it. I'm not the only one that has seen that. Sarah, those delays really ramped up with Omicron. Yes, we're seeing delays across. You basically can't get masks right now anywhere. It sucks. Let's see. Can you and Lloyd Armbrust have a collab and review each other's favorite masks? I mean, I like Lloyd, don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling Lloyd's favorite mask is going to be his mask, because if you're running a business and you say someone else's mask is better than yours, maybe you should make the mask like that. So I don't think he's going to, you know, I like Lloyd, but he does run a business, and he should focus on answering that question for them. Holy crap, you guys have given me a ton of questions here. You guys are hitting me so fast, I can't even see them all. Do you still, yes, delays. Oh, someone asked, does it have to be printed on the outside of the mask? There are labeling requirements for FFP2, just like KN95, so they'd have to meet those labeling requirements. Now, maybe you can get away with it and cheat and put like a little tab that comes off it that's printed on it, and you can tear the tab off, so then it was labeled and you destroyed the tab, you know, something like that. I'm sure there's a way around it, and I would love to see standards. I like the KF94 standard. The labeling is on the packaging, and every mask is singly packaged. So if you buy the package on the mask, all the information is on the mask, and you can do whatever you want on the inside of the mask. I think that's a better solution. Then you know what you're getting, and although there is some issues, that's a much longer discussion. I won't go there. Also, Indiana face mask was very different in terms of pressure drop. Oh yeah, so Elizabeth Menken also noted that, yeah, he tested the Indiana face mask and was like, oh, these are really breathable. I got it. I was like, this thing is not breathable at all. And I actually, yeah. So I won't talk about it too much, but yeah, I don't think his pressure drop data matches my real world experience or my own data. Wirecutter had Enro's #1 mask kit. I spent so much money on those. My kids now KF9. Oh yeah, the Enro, like, yeah, it's like, even if, like, so here's the problem with the Enro. So they had that like small amount of filter media here. Now I think they fixed that and went edge to edge with their filter media. So good for them for making a better mask. But fundamentally, it will never match the electrostatic filter media that's in KF94s, because the issue is you can't wash KF94s because they lose the electrostatic charge. And so you can put melt blown, but it's not electrostatically charged, into the Enro, and it will get decent filtration, but it's going to suck at pressure drop. It's going to be uncomfortable to wear. And that's why you're competing against a better technology. So it's just, in the end of the day, just why just go to the best stuff, man. It's not expensive. It's like well, they used to be less than $1 a mask. So that's kind of where I view that at. Yeah, I do all the short videos. Thoughts on expiration dates? No, you can. I mean, there's a article or a journal article. Google N95's 6-year storage. They tested masks from the emergency stockpile last year that were like 6 years old. They still work perfectly fine. Electrostatics don't lose their charge. It's the bands and all the elastic materials that are going to start failing first. Yeah, MaskLab is going to be slow. If you're ordering from Hong Kong, it's going to be super slow. What mask does my son wear to school? He likes the blue tiger mask. I've given him the posh mask, which I think are much cooler. They're printed. Doesn't care. Give me my tiger mask. That's what I like. Not going to argue with him. It's a good mask. If you like it, kid, you can have it. And they're cheap, too, so save me a couple bucks. What's the risk of wearing an expired KN95? I think very low. Face seal, face fit, face fit, face fit, face fit. If you feel like you give a good face fit, I wouldn't be worried about wearing an expired mask. Now, if it's 20 years expired, okay, yes, we should probably give some deference to that. But in general, if it's like a year expired or even 2 years, I would wear that over a cloth mask any day of the week. Yeah, I saw Aaron on CNN, even though I've been watching for a long time for that. Suddenly there's a huge difference in how many... Yeah, I hope I'm having an impact on that. I think the real answer is that the media is starting to get the message out. So it's I'm just glad to help the media do that, because better masks on more faces is my goal. Oh my goodness. So YouTube comments suck, or the chat here sucks, so it keeps moving around on me. So let me find where I was at. Yeah, the Indian mask on the way. That bums me out. Yeah, they're good. They're protective. They're protective, but they're not the most breathable. Oh, Champac got removed from N95. I'll have to look at that. Champac is not made in the U.S., so there can be all kinds of issues with that. So that's, again, NIOSH N95 is not perfect in itself either. Again, Tuesday article, you'll see. I managed to get the bot and KF94 off of Be Happy 2 days ago. Oh, good. Yeah, those are good. I think she meant Be Healthy, or that per Jim, I guess is maybe, I won't assume his gender in either way, but I'm sure that person ordered it off of Be Healthy, but same difference. Does medical moisture proofing affect the quality of the mask? Oh, so you're talking about, okay, is it a surgical mask? So surgical rated N95s, they do exist. Like the Blox here is a surgical, it says, if you can see, let's see, surgical N95 respirator. What makes it surgical? It's both a surgical mask and an N95, meaning it has fluid barrier resistance and the filtration on it at the same time. So it does reduce breathability because you added a layer to make it, you added a layer to prevent or you have to make the materials, make sure that they meet the fluid barrier resistance, but that does come at the expense of a little bit of pressure drop. So in general, for the general public, you do not need the surgical variety. Unless you're getting squirted in the face and blood in your day-to-day life, you don't need it. Let's see. 3MV flag, I don't know. Let's see. Lloyd's pressure drop data for K is always a lot higher than. Yeah, I don't. Lloyd has an issue with that clamp mechanism. I think it's the clamp and how that works. He's going to go to a TSI 81. Oh, maybe I shouldn't spoil a secret. I won't say anything. I'm done. I do talk to Lloyd as well, so I text him every once in a while. He's a good guy. I like him. Anyone who's trying to get more masks on more people's faces, I'm always going to be your friend. Really appreciate what you're doing there. Do you think you can make an Ask? I do actually have a Mask FAQ video that covers the 3 most common ones, and I linked to it in my latest short. So I think I covered that, but it's not perfect. But I think that's what I'm going to do for now. I think there's other topics I got to tackle. Sarah, I bought my 3 United Canada, do 7 return, best large black KF94, best large air washer, LG air washer. But you can't get it, so I don't. If you notice, I haven't done a review video in a while. It's because it's cruel if I do it. If I said, oh yeah, I love the 3M9105, but they're not making them for the short period of time because they're all maxed out making surgical rides. What does a review video do for you now? If you can't buy anything that I talk about, you can't find LG air washers anywhere right now. So I haven't made a review video because I think it's cruel. But once supplies return, I'll do an N95, my top N95 mask. But if you want to know my top N95, 3M9105 V-Flex, 3M9205 Plus Aura series. I haven't really played around Moldex, so there might be some good Moldexes out there. I just feel like there's so many N95s I can't get to them all. It's impossible. At this point, I should be making masks? No. If you understood the mask market, you would understand that you do not want to make masks. If you want to make a small fortune in the mass market world, start with a large fortune. It's a tough business, very low margins. It's all about volume. It's all about capital to purchase all the equipment because basically all your cost of goods is very, very low. And so you need a lot of volume and you need a lot of machinery to do that, which means you have a huge capital expenditure. And I personally do not have a few $1 million floating around, like probably $10 million to set up my own mask factory. And then at that point in time, when you have it all set up, you're competing against companies in China, which make masks for way less than you can. It's a tough market. Yeah, you don't want to be in the mass market. It's a tough market. I know the Botnet, so if you're looking for big sizes, Botnet XL, and as well as the Mega Fit extra large from Collect USA. can get that there too. Those are the two biggest KF94s I found today. I would buy an Aaron mask. Well, Aaron doesn't want to make an Aaron mask. Bottom line on I love the 3M Aurora. It's a great mask. Have you found Bodden ear loops are weak? Yes, they do sometimes break, and sometimes the little adjuster breaks. Boddens are not my favorite. They were my favorite when I first found them because they were one of the first adjustable ear loops, but I think the LG Airwasher design is the best adjustable ear loop design, and the Baluna Face Fit, which are two masks that are impossible to find. I think I'm responsible for that, so I apologize, but I'm just letting you know that they are the best, but you can't get them. I bought a Rune and the Powcom after seeing you, which is better. A Rune is a bigger mask. If you have a bigger face, then you need to go the Rune. Powcoms are great too. It's all about fit. All about fit. Make sure it fits your face. That's all you can do. They're both good masks. I wouldn't recommend them if they weren't. Thank you. I learned so much about your channel. Now getting my 5-year-old out of class mod. Oh yeah. No worries. I'm glad. My mask live from Hong Kong got Cincinnati 2 days ago. Ordered on 1/9. I'm supposed to get them Monday. Shipping was changed to DHL. Yes, because USPS is not flying out of Hong Kong because USPS hauls on domestic or international, U.S. international carriers haul USPS mail typically, and there's not very many flights going there, so there's nothing coming out via USPS, so they all got moved over to DHL. I think Lloyd's has roots in Minnesota too. Yeah, I think Lloyd's originally from Duluth, Minnesota. Beautiful area up there. Hi, Aaron, would you be interested in conducting an online lecture for medical students about proper masking? I mean, no, you should talk to an industrial hygienist because if you're a medical person and you're working around patients and you're in an occupational setting, you need to be fit tested, and an industrial hygienist is who you should talk to. They'll talk about everything you need to know about masking and why it's important. Now, if you want to talk about general public masking for a pandemic, yeah, I could talk about that. But in terms of what we talk about for occupational settings, an industrial hygienist is who you want to talk to. Let's see. I bought 100 Tiger masks for $100. Yeah, $100. Yeah, I did as well. Even I have a hard time finding masks. I was going to pull them on G Market, but I saw them come up on Be Healthy, so I didn't. But you can always order from G Market. It's the Amazon or eBay of South Korea, but so far, everything I've seen coming out there is pretty good. But right now, it's about the only way to get KF94s if you need them. Do you still like Vitacore Max? They're FFP3 rated. They're nice. I mean, for a non-3M mask, I think they did a good job, and it's really nice. It's an N100. I mean, it's a good mask. It's breathability. You're going to pay that breathability for that high filtration efficiency, but at least someone is making a trifold head loop that's not 3M. Because right now, the only option you have are 3M 90, Aura series, and now you have the KN99. So the fact that there's a Canadian-made mask, that's why I like that. And they used a good aluminum nose wire, no nose foam, which I don't know. It wasn't bad for me. I don't know which way. I don't know if nose foam is always great or not. I love Vitacores. Let's see. Are Honeywell H910 Plus breathable and ideal for large faces? Oh, yeah, you'd have to go back to that test. I did a long time ago. I have a whole long review with KN95s and N95s. I think I covered the Honeywell H910 Plus. I have a long format review. I think it is bit bigger, and I think the breathability is decent on it. It was very, I remember it being very similar to the 3M version, which is the 3M 9502 plus NIOSH N95, but it's really a KN95, but they have headbands, so that's another option. Hey, you know what's YouTuber Punk? Hey, YouTube Punk. We're not getting hit by all the spammers here, so they must still be asleep. The basement dwellers haven't got up yet. They just went to bed, so we didn't have to deal with them today. You should collaborate with Lloyd on a mask then. You design it, he builds it. Yeah, I don't know. I think I like to be independent. Otherwise, why would you trust me? If I'm in the mask game, the second I'm selling masks, you shouldn't trust me. So that's why I don't take money. That's why I don't do this, because how else can you tell people to trust you? If you got skin in the game, then then you feel obligated to not tell people like the truth if their mask sucks. Like Armbrust's mask, I like Lloyd. I think his ear loops suck on that. I'm not very good on that mask. I think you can do much better ear loops. And if I was working with Armbrust, maybe I wouldn't say that, and that becomes a problem. Ooh, let's see. I haven't tested the Yim Yao KN95s. There's a million KN95s out there. I have not tested most of them. Let's see. But you can always look in my database and see what's in there. Thoughts on Dr. Puri? Great KF94. Mask collapse, I don't like them because they don't have a stiff outer layer, but they're very soft. Some people like them. But yeah, they're a good mask. Are there any more protective masks that you recommend that are more environmentally friendly? All of them are reusable, so just use them for 40 hours. I mean, N95s technically could go even longer, so you can reuse them. And my recommendation is just try to save somewhere else. I did the measurement. Actually, let's just do it right now. Let's find out how much a mask weighs. So I'm going to use this KN95 that was sitting right here. I'm going to get out my micro scale that I use when I make my sodium chloride solution. It's a gram scale. Let's see how much this mask weighs. So one mask, which you could wear this for 40 hours for 1 week, weighs, let me get the ear loops on there. Oh, come on. I want to put the ear loops inside the mask because they keep falling off into the table. So let's see how much the total mass of this piece is. I'm gonna guess 7 grams. Oh, I'm way off. 3 point. I don't know if I could show you. I'm gonna try my best to show you this. Ooh, I'm moving it. I gotta go to OSB because I can't see here. I'm too lagged. Well, it says 3.8, but that's because I'm moving it around. 3.7 grams. Okay, so 3.7 grams of mask. Let's say you are 1 a week. Let's do the math really quick. Let's do it. Let's do it together as a team. All right, so we're gonna go over here. Just go to Google. So 3.7 grams. And you're going to wear one every week for a year, 52 weeks. How many pounds is that? I mean, I am American, so, well, that's because I need to do weeks in there, Aaron. You don't need weeks. All right. 0.4 pounds. So you created 0.4 pounds of trash by wearing these masks. And let's just use an American. So let's do average amount of trash in the U.S. per year. 1.7. Well, I guess that's not tons are different because in the U.S. a ton is 2,000 pounds. So anyway, 1,704 pounds. So we're talking, we produce. I mean, this is a fraction of a percent. So if you're an American, which is 0.4 pounds. So what is 0.4? 0.4 pounds on 1,700 pounds represents 0.02%, right? So let's divide. So we'll multiply that by 100 to put it in percent. So I think it's 0.02% of your yearly trash. If you live in the U.S., now of course we're kind of not that I should be using the U.S. as a good metric because we're not. Yeah, 0.02%. So here's what you can do. If you're worried about the economic or the environmental impact of it, reuse them, rewear them, and also what you want to do is to just try to save somewhere else. And if we keep someone out of the hospital, think how much trash we avoid. So 0.4 pounds is like avoid takeout a week and don't use a plastic takeout container, or don't buy something that's plastic and just save it for 2 years from now. Like, just reduce your tiny amount reduction in your amount of waste you generate. You can easily offset this. So they are not, I mean, we see them everywhere because they're new and they're easy to pick out, but just like plastic bags and all that other stuff, like you notice them and they're a problem. We shouldn't be contaminated. We should not be, putting crap in our environment like that, but they're just in the spectrum of driving a car every day. These represent very little ecological damage. We should stop driving cars and flying airplanes and all of the other stuff, global warming. So anyways, but that's my point. Like, I agree. I would love to get rid of masks so we don't have to do this. And could we make one mask that we could reuse forever? I mean, I think you have to do the whole analysis of what happens to it. Okay, those Honeywells are too big for me. Let's see, London, G-Market shipping discount should be around April. Save Woos have a really low breathing resistance and high filtration. Would you like to try it? The Save Woo 3D masks have really low breathing resistance and high filtration. Would you like to try it? You must not be a big follower of my channel. It's okay that you're not, but I love Save Woo masks and I talk about them all the time. So no worries. The Philippines had lots of V-Flex or Rose buttons if you have friends living. Oh yeah, no, that's good. Good, I'm glad that the Philippines have them. They can have them. They need them too. Costco sells K95s that have been. Okay, Miko Place. Miko Place is a reputable cellular. B&X has a trifold. I know, I've been trying to get the B&X. I actually asked them to send me one. They're like, I can't send you on a route of them. So I'll bug B&X again. I want them to send me some. I think B&X makes a good product. I wish they wouldn't make the B&X logo so big on the mask because I think that's a little bit of a risk that plastic can crack and stuff. So I'm not a fan of that. I wish they would not do such a big logo on there, or just don't weld it so much. But otherwise, it's a good mask. Did you say you can wash an No, you cannot wash an N95. Do not do anything with an N95. Don't do anything. Just wear them. Don't wash them. Don't try to clean them. Just, do you recommend getting a fixed mask? You can if you like. If you want to maximize your face seal and maximize protection, is one way to do it. Do you still use Cleanwell KF94s? Yep, the blue ones. I love them because the color. I love the blue one. I wear them all the time. I'm actually almost out of them, and I need to get some more. But I'll wait until I can get some shipping discount on G-Market because you can't find them anywhere. Beauty Box Korea used to have them, but they don't carry them anymore, or at least they don't have the blue ones. So I have to go to G-Market to get those. Are Posh marks smaller than Blue Tiger? Yeah, they're a little bit smaller. So I noticed that my son, the Blue Tiger, is a little bit bigger and the Posh a little smaller. Both of them still fit him excellently, though. Stupid YouTube. Best way to use MaskC, let them sit for a day. Yep, I have a whole, just let them sit for 3 to 4 days, rotate them 3. Just watch the video that I have. It's called How Long Can You Wear a KF94? I cover it in there. Someone told me to try Posh. Posh makes an adult and a kid's mask, just so you know. So if they're telling you to try the Posh, they're probably trying to tell you to wear the Posh adult version. Everyday Emol is a legit supplier. I've tested some stuff from there. It seems like they source everything out of South Korea as well. Any info on dermatitis and mask brands that are better? It really depends on how you get dermatitis. It's funny how sensitive, like there's a mask that I wear that are not scratchy to me, and then whenever I fit people, because I was fitting some teachers, the mask that I think was really smooth and I like on my skin, she wore it, she's like, oh, this is so scratchy. And I was like, really? And then I gave her one that I thought was scratchy, and she thought the exact opposite, that it was very smooth on her skin. So I was like, I think it's very person specific. Maybe it's because I have a beard and that's what I'm catching, not a beard, but I get stubble and that maybe catches the fabric and why it feels itchy. I'm not sure. So it's individual. I would just say try a few masks. Do you cycle between respirators each day? Yes, I usually, sometimes I'm lazy and I don't, but generally I let them sit for 3 to 5 days. Just keep them in my car. I put them in my little side map drawer, and when I take the one I wore that day, I put it at the back of the pile, and then I pull one out from the front on the next day, and I have 5 of them in there, so that works pretty well. And they all sit in my car, because I really only wear masks driving somewhere. It's pretty rare that I walk somewhere and need a mask, but I do have usually one in my jacket pocket too. Let's see, where are we at? Oh my goodness, I'm trying to keep up with all these questions. I gotta go here in a few minutes. We're gonna close this here pretty soon. Do you cycle between? Yeah, yep. So don't close the bag. Yeah, let air get to it. Air is gonna kill the virus. The coronavirus has a lipid layer on the outside that eventually falls apart and dies and no longer is active, and it happens over time. Is there a lot of fake KF94s? Depends what you define fake as. There's a lot of KF94s that are called KF94s that are not even made in South Korea. Because you can call whatever you can make a KF94 in the U.S. and call it a KF94. It's not a regulated term in the U.S. That's why I always say KF94. You got to make sure it comes out of South Korea. If it is, then it's legit and it's going to be good in my book. You don't need to test them. I haven't found really any fake KF94s sourced from South Korea, and they all perform really, really well. Have you tested the Menards Honeywell N95? I have not. Can't find the 3M. Yep, you're not going to find the 3M 9105 Flex around anywhere for a little while. They stopped production on it to focus on the surgical versions because they are going to be pumping the hospitals full of N95s, would be my guess, which is awesome because medical workers should have those. They should have had them 2 years ago, but whatever. Have you managed to avoid catching COVID? Yep, I have. But it's like a minefield around me. Jeez, every day someone I know around me is catching it. And I was like, I managed to avoid it, and my son goes to school. But it is very difficult, I'll tell you that. It is very, very difficult. So if you tried your best and you still got it, I don't blame you in the slightest. It's really, really hard to avoid. But the key thing is that if you reduce your dosage, it may be very much, you may not even notice that you had it. That's the key thing. Good masks reduce the inhaled dose. And again, I'm not a doctor, but if you only I think there's a very big difference between getting 1 virus in your lungs and getting 10 billion viruses in your lungs. And I have a feeling there's some correlation there, but I'm not a doctor. So, but I think we always want to strive for minimized dosage. If you get the doses so low that you never get an infection, great. That's what we should strive for. If I left my N95 in my car's dashboard from 4 p.m. till 8 a.m. the next day, are UVs going to damage the mask? No. Also, UV rays typically don't go through glass in cars because they usually have a filter for UV light. So your car actually doesn't have that much UV coming through it, as I understand it, because that's how they prevent dashboards from cracking. Maybe someone knows more about that. That's what I've heard. I guess I have never put a UV meter inside a car and measured and all that stuff, but that's what I heard, that car glass has a laminated layer that prevents UV. Holy smokes, you guys got a lot of questions. Holy smokes. She's asking someone else. Maybe a personal question. Have you ever, no, you already covered that. I haven't got COVID yet. If I like my N95, we can cover that. Any information, Kungyung Flax, KN Flax masks? I haven't tested them. But if it comes out of South Korea, if you can verify it came out of South Korea, it's good in my book. Breathability is subjective, but the Honeywell in-tin pressure drop is over 30-inch in Aaron's chart. Personally, I find anything over 28. Yeah, yep, that's kind of what I agree. It's a little higher, but I just started using the Kimberly Duck Mask. I found it to be the softest with the best fit for my big nose. Oh yeah, I just tested it. Dustin, if you go back to this live stream, you see I tested it. I think it's a good mask. Very breathable. Doesn't fit my face. It's a little small for my face. I find boat masks fit my face better, but that's just. But I tested it with the Fix the Mask to seal it up nice tight, and good performance and good breathability. I mean, that's why I was trying to find an alternative to the 3M9105 V-Flux because you can't get those right now. God, stupid YouTube. Every time I look down, it like jumps in. Is there a fit test solution you like for a nebulized qualitative system? 3M bitter solution? Yeah, you could. There's actually. I haven't touched it in a while, but there is actually I don't know if it was MedX or some preprint or. Anyway, someone had done some tests about how to do that with that, and they were using sucralose, which is a sweetener, an artificial sweetener, which might be an option. Or you can use Bitrex. I haven't done a lot with the nebulizer stuff because, again, I'm trying to focus on like getting people off of cloth and surgical. And I think if we could come up with a really simple way that anyone could do it, you could just like go into a mall or someplace and have your mask tested. That'd be super cool. But I don't know if I'm going to get to that. Put Russian dressing on the sandwich here. Oh, Russian dressing. Oh, yeah, I am hungry. I'm ready for a sandwich here. Thoughts on using UV wands? I mean, you could use a UV wand. I have no idea. I mean, the UV stuff always makes me a little nervous because especially if it's in the wrong wavelength and you're blasting yourself with UV. I find it so much easier just to leave the mask sit for 3 days. You have to do nothing. Just buy 5 of them. You're going to buy them anyways. You're going to buy 5 masks anyways. So just wear them on an alternate day. It's the easiest thing. I'm a big fan of the KISS engineering solution, which is keep it simple, stupid. So just keep it simple. So just leave it on the table. That's my opinion. Can we get virus particles on our hands if the front of the mask is trapping particles? So, yes, here's the thing. Google fomite transmission CDC. They have said it is rare, which they define as less than 1 in 10,000 cases are attributed to you touching something and then getting COVID. In fact, but they still could not actually trace a specific case to that instance. So in general, I don't really worry about fomite transmission, which include touching the mask on the outside. Could it happen? Yes. Should you still wash your hands? Of course, always a good idea. Am I really super worried about it? No, not really. Most of the small particles get trapped in the filter media inside the mask. It's the middle layer. You can't really touch it. The stuff on the outside does collect really big stuff, but like droplets typically are only things that are going to be that big to get caught in there. And so I really don't worry about it. You should enable clips on your live stream. It's a setting in Creator Studio. Oh, dang it. Then when you say something important, people can just link to the clip from the live stream. Okay, I will have to do that. I guess I've never looked at it. But thank you for sharing that, me, Cerebrix. I'll have to look into that. You're supposed to be outside by now. Oh, I agree. We're moving on quickly. You guys keep asking so many questions, I can't get to it all. But I'll keep trying my best. Weird question. Best mask for someone with a pointy chin and glasses. You're probably going to like a bifold style. KN95s would be probably where I start. If you have a really tall, like nose bridge to chin distance, bifolds seem to fit that face shape a little bit better. I should not use a 90% mask if I have a 99 available. Correct. Buy mask nerds. Bye, Sarah. Public fit testing sites would be a dream. Agreed. On the spreadsheet, you could add a simple extra head for your column heads. Testing, putting about face size is really difficult. If you do a home fit, make sure you get the fit test solution and not the sensitivity solution, a diluted version to ensure you can taste it. Good question. Good point, David Beatty. I haven't really done much with that, but I'll repeat that one. I don't know exactly what all the different versions of the solutions are. How do the bands on the Aurora 9210 Plus compare with the 92? Okay, so 9210 Plus bands are different. They are a braided material and seem to last a lot longer, but it is made in Singapore, so they're hard to get. So typically you're going to see 9205, which has the blue bands. They're like elastic material. 1870 is the same elastic material, but it's red because the 1870 is the surgical variety. Was your fake, I don't know what the fake 1870 lot number is off the top of my head, sorry. Flask mask was tested by Colorado State University. Okay, I haven't seen the data on that. I wear it once in toss. Safi, you don't need to wear once in toss. You can wear them for 40 hours or until the mask starts to lose your face fit, whichever happens first. And that 40 hours is still very conservative, and it does. You might be able to go longer. I'm being conservative with that. I have yet to see a mask after 40 hours, a disposable style, last much longer than that for a variety of other instances. Let's see, you're the man. No problem, I'm glad. Thanks for Aaron. Yeah, thanks YouTube Punk for all your help. Which legit sites for Kimberly? I have no idea. I haven't looked in a long time. You should make TikTok shorts. Yeah, I only have so much time. Recipes for at-home fit use a diluted 1% solution to test sensitivity, then the full solution. Oh, I see, because you want to be able to know if you actually, what the sensation's like. Okay, good question, David. That's a good point, David Batty, about the sensitivity solution. I'm guessing that's used to make sure that you can detect the Bitrix or the solution in a normal condition, so you kind of know what the feeling's like, and then they give you the high power stuff when you're doing a fit test and ask you to do it again. What about do-yourself fit testing? I think I want to get to that maybe someday, but I feel like I have a million things I have to do, and I'm getting kind of tired of doing this, so I don't know if I'll get to that or not. I'm running out of steam. It's been a long month. So anyways, I agree. TikTok Shorts seems like great. I just avoided TikTok because I'm an old man and I scream at clouds and stuff like that about young kids and their social media platforms with very short content. Because if you watch my early videos, I'm the antithesis of short content. But yeah, maybe we'll see. I'm tired right now, so I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to be done with the live stream here. So thank you everybody for hanging around. We'll catch you. I don't know what I'm going to do the next one. I do have some more Arlington masks coming, but if they're the exact same as these, I'll check them. If they're the same, I'll say they're good. So good job, Arlington Public Schools, for sourcing masks that meet all the requirements. I don't know what's on the docket for futures. I can't test every KN95, KF94, or N95 out there right now because there's like every day there's like 10 new ones. Even if I started today, I'd still be behind schedule. But I'll keep an eye on stuff that's coming out and try to source stuff. I do focus on trying to source masks that everyone can buy from. So Gmarket's great. I love Gmarket. I've used it myself in the beginning of the pandemic all the time. I think I even talked about it in a few videos. But in general, it's not for everyone. You got to know a little bit of Korean, or at least know how to kind of work the system. So I try to do stuff, again, I'm trying to do the broadest thing possible. Better masks on more faces. So I'm always battling better masks, finding better masks, and talking about it for more people. So anyways, thanks a ton for hanging around, everybody. Another 2-hour or whatever length this ends up being. I hope you all have a great day, and I don't know when I'll do the next one, but I'll see you when it happens. Thanks, everybody.